even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs, set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free, confidential help now.
Most roofers just replace your shingles. At Pelican, we diagnose your roof, digging deep down to find the root cause of your roof symptoms. Now call for me? Good. We don't ignore your roof's issues, we address them. Let's just take care of this right here, helping your roof to become the best version of itself. Interesting that you would say that. How does that make you feel? So call Pelican Roofing for your free roof checkup today.
Raising Cane's is our victory meal.
Football fans are some of the most dedicated fans in sports. It's a fundamental quality we share, and that fuels every single order of our hand-battered chicken fingers. Wherever there's football, there's Raising Cane's.
One love.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Almost 5 years after retiring from the NFL, Phillip Rivers is back. The 44-year-old rejoining the Colts on their practice squad as they deal with the season-ending torn Achilles of starter Daniel Jones, Riley Leonard's knee injury, and Anthony Richardson still on injured reserve. Leonard's status Sunday at Seattle still unclear, so Rivers' immediate role remains to be seen. ESPN NFL analyst Jeff Saturday.
And look, I love Phil. This is no disrespect to Phil, but that Seattle defense ain't no joke. And not having any timing with any receiver, the NFL doesn't just pop off like that quite often. Now, can he go in and battle and do some things above the neck? I think he's 100% ready to rock and roll. That body at 44 is a little different. Them men over there trying to go hurt you.
Phillies accomplished their top priority this baseball offseason, finalized a 5-year, $150 million contract to hold on to slugger Kyle Schwarber. Former Mets closer Edwin Diaz reached a 3-year, $69 million deal with the Dodgers. Amid potential NFL interest, Notre Dame will push to keep coach Marcus Freeman and make him one of college football's highest-paid coaches.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy, coming up Wednesday. Chiefs, Ravens, or Bengals. I'll tell you which team will actually benefit from missing the playoffs this year. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's ride!
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. I'm Matt. Shut up, kid. Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Yes, sir. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Frank Wilson met with reporters as LSU opens up bowl preparation. Shea Dixon in 15 minutes. We'll talk with Chris Marler of LouisianaSports.net, how to fix the college football playoffs. Sean Salisbury in hour 3. Ton to do as we begin every single day.
It's time to pop the top on another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
Tigers will meet as a team here on Tuesday as they begin their preparation for the Texas Bowl. They'll hit the practice field for the first time on Thursday. Frank Wilson met with reporters earlier Tuesday. And as you might imagine, there was some conversation about the Texas Bowl. There was a lot of conversation about his future, Lane Kiffin, the future of the LSU football program as well. But I thought what was an interesting place to start, though, is why LSU decided to play this bowl game in an era where Notre Dame decided not to play and elected not to participate in the bowl game. A handful of other teams have chosen not to play amid coaching changes. A couple of Big 12 schools have incurred $500,000 fines from their leagues for electing not to accept a bowl invitation, but LSU is going to play, and Frank Wilson explained why.
Yeah, I think, it's important to finish what we've started, that the experience for the student athlete is the ultimate of what you're trying to accomplish, and to take that from these young men was something we never actually put on the table. It's something that they wanted. It's something that we as a university wanted to do, to complete a season and to send these seniors out the right way with an opportunity for victory as they conclude their careers here at LSU. That's a forever thing for us. And so I don't even know that there was discussion of not competing in a bowl game. It was never brought up to me. And so we're fortunate. We're excited about the opportunity to finish the season the right way.
I don't know that there was ever discussion not to compete in the bowl game. I get it, man. I'm not going to sit here and like clutch my pearls and pound the desk and talk about playing in bowl games. I'm the guy that tells you all the time bowl games don't matter. It's nothing but an opportunity for a bunch of fat old guys in ugly jackets to generate a profit, guys, as a 501c3 nonprofit. Bowl games are meaningless in the grand scheme. However, if you get an opportunity to go play a game, I can't imagine not taking that opportunity. With the understanding, you're Jaden Daniels, you're about to go be a first, second pick and make millions of dollars. You don't want to risk injury. I get it. Will Campbell a year ago, I get it. Those individual situations, I totally get players making the decision. Remember a few years ago, there was the tight end from Michigan, Jake Butt, who was going to be a first-round pick, one of the best tight end in college football. He goes and plays in a bowl game for Michigan, tears up his knee, and his career effectively was over. So I get it. The linebacker, Jalen Smith from Notre Dame years ago, played in the bowl game, was going to be a top 10 pick. Ended up missing his entire rookie year, was a second-round pick at Dallas, ended up playing a little bit, but it wrecked what would have been a multi-million-dollar opportunity. I get it. I get guys that have to make that decision. Some choose to play, some don't. Malik Neighbors, a couple of years ago, decided to play in the bowl game because he wanted to set the LSU all-time receiving record. That meant something to him. Once he had that record, he took the pads off, sat the rest of the game. That's an individual decision that a lot of guys are going to have to make. But as a team, I just can't imagine as a competitor choosing not to play if you have the opportunity. But then again, there is the question of like who is going to be available. There's going to be opt-outs, there's injuries. So let's start with the opt-outs in the portal. We had heard already 5 guys. Of course, Jelani Watkins, Kylan Billiot, Ahmad Bro, Ashton Stamps, Wallace Foster, 5 names that we've already heard that have publicly declared their intention to enter the transfer portal when the portal opens on January the 2nd. Here was Frank kind of updating those guys.
I think we'll have the guys that we finished the season with. We're still working through it. We got a couple of guys, young guys, that have played in reserve roles that are into the portal. Some will play. Ahmad Bro, who will play through the bowl game, but has publicly announced and have sat with me to discuss going into the portal. But as far as opt-outs, we're not at the point where we've had those guys. We were in discussion with some of those veteran players who may opt out in the case of Jack Byburn, maybe, and a couple of more guys, but we haven't finalized that just yet.
Remember, Jack Pyburn has already accepted an invitation to participate in the Senior Bowl. So that's one where I go, okay, that's a senior who has a multi-million-dollar opportunity ahead of him, and he's going to participate in the Senior Bowl. Is he better served spending the month of December preparing himself for the Senior Bowl opportunity or preparing to play in the Texas Bowl? And it may be that the decision Jack makes is go get ready for the Senior Bowl. Harold Perkins, it was announced here on Tuesday, has accepted an invitation to participate in the East-West Shrine game. Does Harold Perkins just start getting ready for that opportunity for the Combine, or does he prepare to play in the bowl game? I don't know. He'll make that decision. So you heard Frank say they've had those conversations with some guys, but nothing decided yet. Again, the Tigers are set to hit the practice field on Thursday for the first time, so we'll have a much better idea of who's in, who's out. Now, as far as injuries, Frank did say there's already a few that we know are not going to play in the bowl game.
From an injured standpoint, Garrett Nussmeier, Mansour Delane, Aaron Anderson, Brillon Moore, those guys are still in the capacity. Mansour is out. Garrett is out. Aaron Anderson is not likely, and Braylon Moore has a chance. We'll see if he's ready to go. And Whit Weeks will be out.
So, no Garrett Nussmeier. It's understandable but disappointing. I mean, that's a guy who's, the final snaps that he'll have taken in his LSU career getting benched against Texas A&M. And that's a bummer. You look at Mansour Delane, a guy who, as we told you, he missed the Western Kentucky game with that core injury, came back and played against Oklahoma. I had a chance to speak to Mansour's dad the Monday after that Western Kentucky game. I was walking into football ops. Mansour's dad was walking out, and we chatted for a few minutes. He told me that Mansour actually has been battling that core injury since fall camp. He's just managed it medically all season, which is even more incredible that this guy played at an All-American caliber this year with that injury. But it's probably the right decision for a guy that's going to be a top half of round one pick. Go get healthy. Whit Weeks out. We all understand that. Whit battled to get back and played a little bit, but it's better to get healthy. Aaron Anderson, questionable. We'll see if he's available for the game, but another guy that went through senior day activities. He'll have a decision to make if he wants to come back for next year. He has another year of eligibility, but going through senior day activities likely tells you the story that he's planning on going pro. And then Braylon Moore, with the opportunity to come back and play in the bowl game, maybe that suggests Braylon Moore will return next year, which would be a massive, as big a get as LSU could have returning if Moore decides to return next year, considering how bad you are on the offensive line, but Moore being really the most steady presence in that group for you this year. If you get Braylon Moore back, that would be massive. I'm not so much interested in him hurrying back for the bowl game, but I'd be very interested in having Braylon Moore return for the 2026 season to be a stabilizing force in the middle of that offensive line. So just a couple of the news and notes as LSU is set to meet as a team here on Tuesday for the first time before the bowl, and then hit the practice field on Thursday for the first time. 15 practices. It's the thing we always say. The real benefit of the bowl are the 15 practices for the guys who are going to be key contributors next year, to have these 15 practices and a game, which effectively acts as a pre-spring for those guys. So big opportunity, and with Lane Kiffin watching from his balcony there at the second floor of football ops over the practice field. But it'll be Coach Frank and the current staff maintaining, finishing what they started with this 2025 team before the new staff will take over afterwards. All right, it's After Further Review. We're glad you're hanging out with us here. Show Up and Every Day is brought to you by Bud Light. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR, the official beer of the Tigers, the official beer of the New Orleans Saints as well. You're going to be in the Dome this weekend. Make sure you got plenty of delicious ice-cold Bud Light. You had a holiday party. Make sure you stop by, pick up the officially licensed LSU cans in 16-ounce aluminum bottles. Make sure you follow Marler Beverage on all the social media platforms, all the different and great products that they provide. Of course, they're also the official beer of the Southern Jags, so our friends over at Marler Beverage are welcoming new head coach Marshall Faulk to the Bluff and to Baton Rouge. So drink easy with the Tigers, the Saints, and the Jags. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light. Okay, y'all, it is After Further Review. We're glad you're hanging out with us here on this Tuesday, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. Shea Dixon will join us next. Of course, since last we spoke to Shea, Tigers have polished off their early signing period, so we'll react to that, what is still left, and what's there to be had in the portal as well. We'll dive into all that roster stuff with Shea as we continue. We're glad you're here on a Tuesday edition of AFR.
AFR.
It's not too late to give your family the coolest gift you've ever given them for Christmas. How about you go Clark Griswold on it and you put it in a swimming pool? Duplessis Builders can make that happen. Now, you're not going to get your pool done by Christmas. I mean, it's December the 9th. I mean, that's just not plausible. But you could certainly give them the gift of that swimming pool. They could open up on Christmas morning. And you could do it all right now. Like, you could finish the whole process in 5 minutes at their website. Seriously. Go to duplessisbuilders.net. And if you're thinking, Matt, I can't afford it, look, they can do any type of custom pool build you want, resort-style pool, as big a job as you want, outdoor kitchen. But they also have 11 different pool designs. Go to the website, duplessisbuilders.net, duplessisbuilders.net. There's the Pick Your Pool tab on the homepage. You'll see the 11 different pool designs. Pick your finishes. You can even pay for it on the website. Financing available. It's right there for you at duplessisbuilders.net.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith with Locke Meredith Sean Fagan & Associates. We take great pride in educating our clients about their rights. Whether you're injured at work or while you drive, call our office at 272-5555. Knowledge is power, and you should know your rights after an injury.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan of Locke Meredith Sean Fagan & Associates. When insurance companies have been unfair, we've never been afraid to go to trial. Fighting hard to protect your rights, we never settle a case out of convenience. We only settle when it's right for you. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call.
BRAC teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. BRAC, your #1 park system in the nation.
Supreme Jasmine is premium American-grown rice. From local farms to your table, every grain is supreme.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
Always big shout out to Sunshine, sunequip.com, sunequip.com. Remember, with those John Deere tractor toys, including the riding tractor for the kiddos, great Christmas gift. You can get it at any of your Sunshine locations, sunequip.com. Shea Dixon on 3, the Bengal Tiger, good enough to hang out with us here. How are you, dude?
I'm doing well, Matt. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. Okay, hey, look, so early signing period in the rearview mirror. Let's start with the 10,000-foot flyover. Give me your take.
My biggest takeaway would be that we're in this Lane Kiffin era, right, Matt, where we know he's going to be portal heavy, where he has come out and said it. It's what he's done in the past. And does that come with like abandoning high school recruitment? And I don't think that's the case. You would look at it and say, well, Shea, they had 14 signees. Well, I've been on here every Tuesday. How many times have I said that they've had more than 16 signees? I mean, that's just how the whole year went. It not even the coaching change affected that, the 7-5 season, none of that. It just kind of how the class played out. So I wouldn't look at that and say, oh, this is just how it's going to be, moving forward, matter of factly. I think they'll end up signing around 20 high school signees a year. So 14 is a low number. But my biggest takeaway would be this probably is, yes, 14 commits. That's the number 11 class in the country. But you do average rating. So every kid, you're 5-star, 4-star, 3-star, but everyone has a rating, right? So Lamar Brown is the number one player in the country, but his actual rating is 98.61. And that's, you hit these different levels, and that's what differentiates. Once you get to a 90, you're a 4-star, for instance. The average rating among LSU's 14 commits compared to every other college in the country is number 1. They beat out Oregon, who finished number 3 overall, Bama, number 4 overall, Notre Dame, number 2 overall, Ohio State, number 6 overall, A&M, number 8 overall, USC, number 1 overall, and Georgia, number 5 overall. So the overalls I'm giving you are where they finished class ranking wise, while LSU finished 11th. But in just pound for pound, like how good are the 14 guys you signed? Rival says it's the best class in the country.
Let's look at the flips, Shea, both in and out. It's some of those I think we talked about a week ago were players that were sort of they were processed out of the class. They're just scholarship offers that weren't honored by the current staff, the new staff. Was there anything that was surprising coming or going?
I think the biggest surprise would have been Kenny Darby, who a year ago led the state receiving, has been committed to LSU for a while. Bama, a number of other schools were on him, and LSU won out. And the day before signing day, they part ways with Kenny Darby, and they end up bringing in a guy from the Ole Miss class at receiver. So Corey Barber is his name. He's from Alabama. So it was in very short order here. Kiffin gets to town on Sunday, and he brings his offensive staff. By Monday, those guys are watching film, studying, looking at the class, examining options, and you're dealing with NIL, rev share, everything else. And signing day's 2 days away. So the following day on Tuesday, Matt, is when we saw all of that shuffle. It was a few guys they parted ways with, a few guys they flipped. But Kenny Darby is a very highly ranked prospect, top 300 player. Now, they replace him with Corey Barber, a top 150 prospect. And then on signing day, when the dust settles, Charles Power, who runs our rankings and is part of the rankings team, wrote an article, Matt, nationally, 10 guys that he thinks were best fits at the program they signed with. And Corey Barber was his pick for LSU. And he said, hey, look, this fits what Lane does. And I think that what we saw with guys leaving the class and then the guys they brought into the class, largely Ole Miss commits, were guys that they said, these guys don't fit what we're going to be doing now on offense. These guys do. And I think the best example of that would be people asking, how do you part ways with the state's leader and receiver a year ago and now go grab this other kid from Alabama? Both of them highly ranked, both of them 4 stars. Like, what's the difference here? And the difference is that Lane Kiffin and Charlie Weiss and this offensive staff feel that Barber fits better than Darby did. And look, the timing of it sucks, right? For a guy who, finds out the day before that he's no longer going to LSU, but does land in the SEC. Joe Sloan picked him up at Kentucky. So that was good to see. But blame the calendar, right? Blame the NCAA for this, because the season ends on Saturday. Sunday, Lane gets hired. Monday, he's down here doing work. And within 48 hours, he's got to sign his recruiting class at a brand new school. I mean, forces you into these decisions in a very short window. So they were still able to do it. But I think the biggest thing to take away from it is that, Matt, is that it's Lane's way right now. And he showed right away out of the gates of, we're going to only be taking kids that we think will help us now. And we can get to that. You've talked about that plenty, but that also fit what our scheme is.
Yeah. Shea Dixon on 3, the Bengal Tiger on Twitter at Shea Dixon. The other one I wanted to ask you about, Shea, is Bryson Cooley, because big offensive lineman out of the state of Mississippi. And while he was committed to LSU, there was some talk, I know you and I discussed, him possibly flipping to Ole Miss. Well, the Ole Miss coach and staff ends up in Baton Rouge, and now he flips to Bama. So what happened with Bryson Cooley?
Yeah, it was state that he might was going to flip.
Okay, so Ole Miss wasn't in the mix.
They had tried to be, but look, he's a Pine Belt kid, so PJ Woodland from Oak Grove's a Pine Belt kid, Tristan Keys from Hattiesburg when he was committed. And then you've got a Laurel kid in Bryson Cooley. So for all those guys, it's a shorter drive to Baton Rouge than it is to Starkville or Bama, or Tuscaloosa or Oxford. So they got on him early. Donovan Tate did a great job here keeping him committed. And they had beaten out Bama at the time. And there was about a few weeks after Brian Kelly's firing, where State, Levy, those guys pushed hard. But behind the scenes, it was Bama LSU. And when I tell you Wednesday, he woke up and said, I can't sign today. I don't know what I want to do yet. And, you hear people say that, look, you hear Lane say that. I don't know what I want to do yet. Like, this is a tough decision. But Bryson Cooley was honest about that with LSU and Bama. Like, when I kind of made calls around, all of them were like, here's the message we got from him and his mom this morning. It's not about NIL. It's not about rev share. It's not about playing time. It's just an indecisiveness of knowing there is stability at Bama, and he can read the writing on the wall that Brad Davis will not be at LSU, most likely. And now we know that LSU's hired an offensive line coach. So he flipped to Bama, not a big surprise, but even with, the reality that LSU was going to move on from his position coach, he drug it all the way to Friday. So it was close. He had a great senior season. This is a kid who's going to start for Bama, and it would have been a really nice land for LSU, but turned it over to the Portal King, I guess. And good for them also for holding on to Bryson Martinez, who is a top 10 tackle from, here in the Baton Rouge area. And Texas was doing all they could to flip him. And he was one of the first signees that came in at 8 a.m. on Wednesday.
Shea, I'm glad you mentioned the portal. What needs, as you see it, remain coming out of this early signing period for the 2026 roster?
I think quarterback is where you're starting, and I don't have any worry there. I've said it before. Lane found his 11-1 quarterback on Twitter. Trinidad Chambliss, they talked about that. He had put out his highlights from, Ferris State. And the Ole Miss staff had seen it because they got tagged in it and watched it. And we're like, damn, this kid's not too bad. We've already got Austin Simmons. Hey, you want to come down and be a backup? And lo and behold, he becomes the starter when he got hurt, and Austin Simmons got hurt. And he never gave it up. Been a great player. So if Lane can find you a Ferris State kid from Twitter, and this staff can find that, I have full faith that they can go into the portal and get an elite quarterback. And that's just been the reality too of LSU situations. Joe Burrow, Jaden Daniels, Danny Etling. I mean, we could just keep going back. Guys who have had success beyond Nussmeier's, a year ago, were guys that transferred in. I do not believe next year's starter for Lane Kiffin is on the team right now. That's not a knock on Michael Van Buren as much as it is the reality of what I think that Lane wants to do right away with this LSU team, which first and foremost, go get a quarterback who you feel can be mobile, run his offense, which he had spoken about kind of the evolution of the Bryles offense into what he's made it, which is run heavy, which is one that really does actually get kids ready for the NFL at the quarterback position, because you are relying on reads and not just throwing to a spot before the play even starts. And then I'd go, Matt, O-line, obviously. Running back is another. They didn't sign one this cycle. They always get a receiver. But you're looking at safety, right? I mean, Halsey and Cooley were great for you this year, but you've got to find a replacement for Halsey. You'll probably take a second safety there. You feel good about what Deshaun Spears did, so maybe he can move into a starting spot. You loved DJ Pickett on threes. National Freshman of the Year for defense is going to start at one of those spots. Does PJ Woodland start at the other spot? Or do you go into the portal and find another guy who, maybe those three and anyone behind them who doesn't exit out of LSU and hit the portal could play at? So really, we could do this all day. Should I just name every position on the team right now?
Kind of feels like it.
And that's the reality. And he talked about that a ton, was the commitment LSU made in the NIL budget was different than what Florida made and what Ole Miss made. And because of that, I would expect January 2nd to the 16th the 14-day portal window. And remember, no spring portal exists. So you can't go through spring ball and be like, boy, we got some deficiencies here. Let's address them. Can't do it anymore. So I think that will be one of the more eventful times of the early, until they kick off a football game, that January 2nd to 16th of the new Kiffin era will be one of the more exciting times to watch, because you just signed your high school class, Matt. That's the only other window beyond retention, keeping guys on the team, to build next year's roster.
Yeah, the biggest mistake I think coaches are going to regret is getting rid of the spring portal. I mean, LSU added A.J. Halsey and Bernard Gooden in
two of their best players.
Yeah, right. I mean, you're going to come out of spring realizing deficiencies, and you're not going to have an opportunity to address it. It's going to be a big mistake. Last thing for you, maybe I'm burying the lead here, but I'd love to get your take on Frank Wilson and his future, what you know and what you think might happen there.
Yeah, I mean, he was non-committal on it in today's press conference, and I think it is one of those things where you wonder, okay, there's been so much buzz, right, that if he was 100% staying, he's your running backs coach, that would have come out, or Kiffin would have said that. And I think Kiffin's still building his staff. We don't expect much change on defense, right? Like you've spoken about it, Kyle Williams, and the reality that he's been a part of football probably since he was 7 years old, and he's tried to step away a couple times and got looped back in at Ruston. Then you can't turn down the LSU job, and now that you've done it for a year, I think that he's probably going to hang it up, and that's why we saw Elijah Robinson on campus this past Friday, big time, well known D-line coach who's currently at Syracuse, and he's being courted by a number of schools, but. On offense, Lane brings down everybody, and between On3's reports, your reports, Wilson Alexander releasing term sheets that got signed with the guys who flew down here on the plane that will be on-field coaches. Most recently, Eric Walford and the O-line stuff. So it's like everything's been filled out already except running back. And the running back coach at Ole Miss is still there. Frank's still here. And Frank said today, look, Lane and I will figure that out after the bowl game on the 27th. So I don't know. My gut tells me that we would have already heard something if it were definitive and done, but that doesn't mean that it's no chance in my mind. I just think that we're almost in a wait and see. And as Lane gets a feel for the program over the next 2 to 3 weeks, where does that take things with Frank in his future?
Shea Dixon, On3, the Bengal Tiger. Make sure you get over there and check it out. He's on Twitter at Shea Dixon. Give him a follow. Okay, man, we appreciate it as always. We'll chat next week.
I could have done this all day, Matt. You just give me a call whenever.
Thanks, Shea. Appreciate you, man. It is After Further Review. We're brought to you by the Williamson Eye Center. 924-2020, 924-2020, or WilliamsonEye.com. That's WilliamsonEye.com. You know, if you've been told in the past that you're not a candidate for LASIK, Evo ICL could be a great option. It's an alternative to LASIK for people who are nearsighted. Remember, LASIK changes the shape of your eye. But if you're not a candidate for whatever reason, you still have an option. And it's Evo ICL. And Dr. Blake Williamson's the best. He's done thousands of these procedures. You want the best. You want to get it done before the new year? It's possible. Just call 924-2020 and get on the books. 924-2020, go for that consultation. 924-2020 or WilliamsonEye.com, Williamson, E-Y-E, WilliamsonEye.com for the Williamson Eye Center. All right, y'all, it is After Further Review. We're glad you're hanging out with us here. The SEC All-Conference team has been released. 6 Tigers made the cut. We'll tell you who when we come back. We'll go around the SEC. Stick around. It's AFR.
AFR.
What if you hired a realtor that didn't lock you into a long-term contract? Like, if you weren't thrilled with the service at any point, let you out of the contract free and clear. Well, Darren James does that. What if you hired a realtor that guaranteed they would sell your home? Like, put their money where their mouth is. Agree to a price and a deadline. If your home isn't sold at that price by that deadline, they'll have it bought with cash or they'll sell it for free. Well, Darren James does that too. You wonder why Darren James is on the Wall Street Journal's list of the top 1% of realtors in America? Number 14 in the country on the transaction side? It's because nobody works harder, has the people, the processes, the systems in place to make sure your home gets sold fast for the most amount of money. It's Darren James. 335-7666, 335-7666, 335-7666, or agent225.com.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
This menu is a masterpiece, delivers every time.
This is the worst party ever. Raisin Cane's!
Let's go!
The party is saved!
Peter, Mr. Billingsley.
Celebrate the holidays with Raisin Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
Lock Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates has won for our clients over $175 million over the decades. But our greatest success is our clients who have chosen and trusted us to help them. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call. You've got nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan. If you get injured, you could be staring at medical bills, repair costs, and lost income. Life can be turned upside down. At Lock Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, we'll work to turn your world right side up. Hire us, and like thousands of our clients, you'll be glad you did.
Investing in a new roof doesn't have to be overwhelming. At Pelican Roofing, we offer 0 interest for 21 months because everyone deserves a safe, secure home. Trusted, local, affordable. Pelican Roofing, making quality roofing affordable for South Louisiana families.
Trust isn't given, it's earned. On the field, I trust my team. For my healthcare, I trust the lake.
Our Lady of the Lake sports medicine experts know what it takes to improve performance and build champions at every level. That's why LSU chose Our Lady of the Lake as its championship health partner, trusting Louisiana's best medical team to care for our state's best athletes. From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
I trust the lake.
South Louisiana, it's turnaround season, and River Parish Contractors is calling in the best of the best. We're hiring pipe fitters, iron workers, boiler makers, combo and structural welders, rig welders, carpenters, crane operators, dirt operators, and more. If you're ready to work, ready to earn, and ready to build something that lasts, call Big Jake at 318-547-1000 or go to rpcontractors.com. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
Plowing these fields in the hot summer sun. Over by the gate, Lordy, here she comes with a basket full of chicken and a big cold jug of sweet tea. I make a little room and she climbs on up.
All right, glad you're rolling along with us here. Glad you're hanging out. Tuesday edition of AFR. We appreciate our friends over at Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. All your farm equipment, those combines, tractors, but zero-turn mowers, gators, toys for the kiddos, the riding tractors for the kiddos. Great Christmas gift. You can pick them up over at Sunshine, sunequip.com, sunequip.com. All SEC teams are out, as determined by the SEC coaches. There were 6 Tigers that made the cut. This is really going to shock you. There weren't any that made the first team on offense. Pour one out for LSU's offense in 2025? No? Anybody deserving? Anybody? Think about it? No? Cool. Thanks for the silence. We're good. Mansour Delane on defense. A.J. Halsey, both first-teamers. Tradez Green, second-team offense. And then there were, Harold Perkins made third team on defense, along with Damian Ramos and Grant Chadwick, third team specialists. So 6 LSU Tigers in all honored by the SEC. If you're wondering, Diego Pavia was the first team all-conference quarterback. All the way back to July, remember old Rex Specs was the preseason all-conference quarterback. Laughed about that. And I got laughed at by many for saying that he wasn't any good. And lo and behold, he's not any good. He's a really good athlete. He's not a very good quarterback. May, in turn, in time, be a good quarterback. He's not a good quarterback right now. Lenore Sellers. But it was interesting because this is one of those years that if you go back to July, and we'll revisit a lot of the preseason predictions, and some you hit, some you don't. Look, my SEC championship game was LSU in Texas. Clearly a giant whiff. I did have A&M as my surprise team. Remember, South Carolina was a preseason top 10, top 15 team. I picked them as the biggest disappointment in the SEC. They bottomed out. So, strikes and gutters, man. But one of the things that was a big talking point before the season was, back at media days, was how this was one of the best years for the quarterbacks in the SEC. And a lot of people thought it was the best year since 2013. And the point I made about 13 over and over again was all those guys were proven. Johnny Manziel had won a Heisman. A.J. McCarron had already won 2 national championships. Aaron Murray was a 3-year starter. You returned Connor Shaw, who was an 11-game winner. James Franklin at Missouri had gotten Missouri to the SEC championship game. I mean, you had Mettenberger was back for a second year as a starter at LSU. You had Dak Prescott at Mississippi State. You had so many proven guys in the conference. Guys that it wasn't a projection. They'd already done it. This was a projection. Nobody knew what John Mateer was going to look like coming from Washington State into the SEC. Arch had the star rating, but he hadn't been a starter yet. Lenore Sellers, for half the year last year, couldn't hit water if he fell out of a boat. I mean, there was upside for a lot of players, but it wasn't proven for many of them, other than Nussmeier, who was the 4,000-yard passer, leading returning passer in college football, and obviously had just a terrible season for a lot of different reasons. But Pavia was great. And hat tip to Diego Pavia for a fantastic season, led Vanderbilt to a 10-win year and was really good. Trinidad Chambliss, who nobody had. I mean, everybody was talking about Austin Simmons. I mean, Austin Simmons was with Ole Miss at SEC Media Days. So Chambliss was the second-team quarterback, and then Gunnar Stockton from Georgia was third-team All-SEC at quarterback. So all conference teams are out. If you want to see the full teams, they're all there at LouisianaSports.net. All right, it's After Further Review. We're brought to you by Arco Power Systems, ARCCO. Arco.com, Arco.com. That's Generac industrial standby generators. This is not power for your home. This is power, standby power systems for your business, your commercial or industrial facility. When governments, municipalities, universities, when power goes out, they got to be online, Arco Power Systems is there. When your commercial building, your business, your grocery store, gas station, any type of commercial building, the power goes out, what do? Arco Power Systems. They can install automatic standby generator power, or they can rent you an automatic standby generator for whenever that storm comes and knocks the power out. They can sell, service, lease Generac industrial standby generators. It's energy for your business. It's Arco Power Systems. ARCCO, Arco.com, 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 ARCCO.com. All right, we do it every day about this time. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, bringing you the biggest news from the nation's best conference, the South Carolina Gamecocks.
South Carolina is hiring TCU's Kendall Briles as the new offensive coordinator. Pete Thamel had it first. Briles has been at TCU since 2023. Prior had been at Arkansas, Florida State, Houston, FAU, and Baylor. He replaces Mike Shula, who was there for just a year.
The Ole Miss Rebels.
Ole Miss is hiring John David Baker as the offensive coordinator for 2026. That's obviously noteworthy because there had been a lot of conversation here about Pete Golding trying to retain Charlie Weiss Jr., who went back to coach the bowl game. Clearly, that's not going to happen as John David Baker will be back. He'd previously been at Ole Miss from 21 to 23 in a variety of different roles before coaching quarterbacks and the OC at ECU this past year.
The Arkansas Razorbacks.
Offensive tackle Shaq McGroy is entering the transfer portal. He's a redshirt freshman. He had one start this year. It was the loss to Mississippi State earlier this year. 6'8", 344, was a four-star transfer prospect whenever he arrived at Arkansas. He was a top 100 overall prospect coming out of high school.
Texas A&M!
2027 four-star edge Caden McCarty has committed to Texas A&M. Had offers from Texas, Baylor, Texas Tech, and Houston. He's from Houston, so his hometown team had also offered. He's the 17th best edge for the class of 2027, the number 115 overall player.
The Tennessee Volunteers.
And Tennessee basketball has a injury update here to Cade Phillips. He's going to undergo season-ending shoulder surgery. Knoxville News-Sentinel was the first to report the news. He'd started 9 of Tennessee's 10 games this season so far, averaging 17 minutes per game. He's a 6'9", 220-pound forward, one of 5 players playing all 38 games for the Vols a season ago, but his year is done. All right, there you have it. That is around the SEC. We're glad to have you hanging out with us here. We are brought to you by Sunshine, sunequip.com, sunequip.com. Newest location going up on Piku in Baton Rouge. I pass it every day on my way home. Can't wait to tell you when that's open. Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. Bunkie and below, you want a Deere, you go to Sunshine, sunequip.com, sunequip.com. All right, y'all, it is After Further Review. Glad you're hanging out with us. Remember, you can always email us, tweet us, or text us in the 225 at 396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. Lots of ways you can get involved in the show, so always feel free to do that. Get some of your text, emails, all the good stuff. Chris Marler, LouisianaSports.net, our SEC writer, he'll be here in 15 minutes from right now. I want to talk to Marler about the SEC teams that got in the playoff, the matchups, and then he's got a column up at LouisianaSports.net right now about how he'd fix the college football playoff. So had that conversation with Marler. He'll be here in studio with us in about 15 minutes from right now. And I do, next hour, also want to get into a conversation about Frank Wilson's future, which we've talked about a little bit here. But on the teleconference today for the Texas Bowl, Frank, for the first time, talked about his future at LSU. So well, let's hear what Frank had to say and what that might mean as LSU makes their way through these next 3 weeks to get toward the Texas Bowl and then, of course, the new future under head coach Lane Kiffin. All that's ahead. Glad you're with us. It's AFR.
After Further Review.
Okay, y'all, today is the last day to take advantage of this peptide special over at Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. YourGoodwood.com, YourGoodwood.com, YourGoodwood.com. If you're not familiar with what peptides are, that's okay. Just understand, and you can educate yourself. You can call Goodwood. You can learn more. But peptides are basically just strands of amino acids that help your body perform the functions they were naturally meant to do. For example, I've told you about BPC 157, which I take, which is amazing for a lot of gut health issues, but also so many clinical trials that prove it helps with recovery, tissue repair. So like my back issues I've had, I do an injection of BPC 157 into my low back every day, and it is amazing, the results I've had. I take NAD+, which is literally making your cells younger. It's incredible all what science can provide. Learn more how you can feel your best. YourGoodwood.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
In South Louisiana, you can always count on good people coming together to help our children.
At Dreams Come True, we grant wishes for Louisiana children with life-threatening illnesses. But to do this, we need funds.
That's why we're trying to raise $100,000 for Dreams Come True by giving away the Blessed Builder School.
Make your backyard's dream come true while helping our kids.
Just go to dreampoolla.com and you can find out how your $25 donation might help win you a Duplessis pool.
Dr. Johnson, that's my guy. He gonna tell me when I need to do better. He gonna tell me when I need to slow down. And I trust him 100%. The medical care that I receive at LSU and with Our Lady of the Lake is top tier. I really trust what they telling me, and they keep me right.
Lockmere to Sean Fagan and Associates has won for our clients over $175 million over the decades, but our greatest success is our clients who have chosen and trusted us to help them. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call. You've got nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan. If you get injured, you could be staring at medical bills, repair costs, and lost income. Life can be turned upside down. At Lockmere to Sean Fagan and Associates, we'll work to turn your world right side up. Hire us, and like thousands of our clients, you'll be glad you did.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Men, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
With all the delicious chicken finger options, it was an impossible decision.
How about a box combo? Good. Now what can I get for you?
No, I want a Caniac combo with extra cane sauce, no slaw, 2 extra toast, and a half sweet tea, half lemonade.
Celebrate the holidays with Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
She ain't a fooling me. She thinks my tractor's sexy. It really turns her on.
Far more likely than anyone in the entire world ever would have thought. A truly crazy, crazy story. This is real. Philip Rivers, sources tell the insiders, is signing with the Indianapolis Colts practice squad. He is going to practice, and then we will see. That is the short answer.
How wild is that? That's Ian Rappaport, by the way. Philip Rivers. When on Monday, when this story started to circulate, I was wondering, did Rivers play last year? I couldn't remember. I remember the season he had with Indy. Come to find out, that season he played in Indy was the COVID year. Dude's birthday was yesterday, turned 44, hasn't played since 2020. He's been out the last 4 years, and now this is his 5th season out of the NFL. And Philip Rivers signed with the Indianapolis Colts today. This is stunning. And look, Rivers, the last time we saw him, was really good. Remember, the year he played in Indy, they went 11-5, made the playoffs. They lost in the first round of Buffalo, but they were really good with Rivers that year. And then they tried to replicate that. Remember Matt Ryan? They kept trying to go the veteran quarterback route, and they never found the success they did with Rivers. But now he's the oldest active player in the NFL. But this is the really fascinating part of this. So Philip Rivers is eligible for the Hall of Fame for the 2026 class. Remember, the 5-year clock starts when you retire. Well, he can sign to the practice squad, which he has, and it doesn't affect his eligibility. But if Philip Rivers is signed to the active roster, whether he takes a snap or not, his 5-year clock resets. So this is a dude that's, and by the way, I have no idea if Philip Rivers is a first ballot Hall of Famer. I would think so, but I don't purport to know what vote. Like Drew Brees is a very obvious first ballot Hall of Famer, right? Retired as the NFL's all-time passing leader, passing touchdowns, completions, all that sort of stuff. Rivers is undeniably, undoubtedly a Hall of Famer. Is he a first ballot? I don't know. He is the 7th leading passer in NFL history. So it's Brady, Brees, Manning, Favre, Rodgers, Big Ben, Philip Rivers. So Rivers is not even a question of Hall of Famer. Is he first ballot? I don't know. But I can't imagine coming back after being out for 5 years and restarting your Hall of Fame clock to sign to the active roster of a team that's going nowhere. I mean, I get the Colts were in contention until now. I also can't believe the Colts don't have a better option than 44-year-old Phillip Rivers. Now, remember, Shane Steichen, their head coach, was on staff for 6 years with the Chargers when Rivers was the quarterback there. So they have a great relationship, and a lot of the reports are that they've stayed in touch, which is why Steichen called Phillip and he came and worked out. But, man, you want to talk about one of the more fascinating stories, if, in fact, he does sign to the active roster and play in a game this year after being out of the NFL for 5 years. I mean, like, the Flacco story continues to be fascinating as he keeps getting opportunities into his 40s and is still clearly capable. It's hard to imagine, though, that the Colts couldn't find a more viable option than 44-year-old Phillip Rivers, who hasn't played football in 5 years. Whatever happens here, I'm not super passionate about it or emotional one way or another, but it's going to be a fascinating story to watch if he does actually sign and get on the field this year. So stay tuned there with Phillip Rivers, who's signed to the Indianapolis Colts practice squad. Hadn't played since the COVID year. My goodness. We're brought to you by Shaw Bills Tire and Auto Service, ShawBillsTire.com. If Phillip was driving from Alabama up to Indy, might want to go to Shaw Bills first, man. Get you some tires that'll last in the snow. Not that snow's really an issue here, but if you are taking that trip this Christmas, this holiday season, you need new tires before you go, get by Shaw Bills. They'll sell you name brand tires at wholesale prices. ShawBillsTire.com, ShawBillsTire.com. And remember, they can take care of whatever service you need. If you need an oil change or your tires rotated, if your brakes are squeaking, check engine lights on, whatever service you need done to your vehicle, Shaw Bills can help you out as well. With locations all over South Louisiana, find the location nearest you. ShawBillsTire.com, ShawBillsTire.com. Shaw Bills, where we keep you rolling. All right, y'all, it's After Further Review, and we're glad you're hanging out with us here. SportsCenter's coming up. We get you caught up on national headlines. When we come back, Chris Marler, LouisianaSports.net, our SEC writer, he'll jump in studio with us. We'll talk some college football playoff, the SEC teams there, draw, and maybe what he would do to fix a playoff. Has a column up right now at LouisianaSports.net. We'll get to that coming up right after SportsCenter. Stick around.
After Further Review.
Of course, you can buy tires at Shaw Bills, and you can buy your vehicle on which those tires will be attached at South Point Volkswagen, airline just north of Highland, or southpointvw.com. You know, every single day when I leave the house, I bring Drew to school, and I put him in his car seat in my Volkswagen Atlas Cross Sport. And every day I have this great peace of mind. I have this little, like this, you have a routine. Like I put him in his car seat, I buckle him in, I kiss him on the forehead. And it's like, I'm sure if you're a parent, you drive your kids around, you have something similar, some routine. I have such peace of mind every day knowing that I'm driving one of the safest vehicles on the road when Drew's in the car. And Erica drives an Atlas, and so every day when she leaves the house, I have such peace of mind knowing she's driving one of the safest vehicles on the road. You can have that same peace of mind and affordability as well. South Point Volkswagen. SouthPointVW.com. South Point Volkswagen. What's your direction?
Trust isn't given. It's earned. On the field, I trust my team. For my healthcare, I trust the lake.
Our Lady of the Lake sports medicine experts know what it takes to improve performance and build champions at every level. That's why LSU chose Our Lady of the Lake as its championship health partner, trusting Louisiana's best medical team to care for our state's best athletes. From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
I trust the lake.
Every winner knows a great play starts with a solid game plan and the right team by your side. At Sunshine, we're here to keep your operation running strong. From tractors to harvesters, we've got the John Deere equipment you need to tackle every job with confidence. Because when the work's done right, there's more time for the things that matter, like cheering on your favorite team. Make Sunshine Quality Solutions part of your playbook this season and learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunnyquip.com.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. We are honored and humbled to receive from our clients in Google, based on 5-star client reviews, the designation of our law firm is highly recommended. Whether you hire us at all, please give us a call, 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith. Injuries happen when you least expect them to, making your life more complicated. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan & Associates, we know this, and we strive to help each of our clients during these times. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit louisianapropane.com to find out about propane generators and other safety tips. Louisiana Propane, it truly is the fuel for our future.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. A reunion for Phillip Rivers and the Colts. With the season-ending injury to starting quarterback Daniel Jones, as well as injuries to Riley Leonard and Anthony Richardson, Indy brought in the 44-year-old Rivers for a workout last night. He threw the ball well and signed him to their practice squad today. Rivers' last NFL game, January 2021, with Indy. ESPN NFL analyst Marcus Spears.
There is no silver lining when you got to call a guy that's been out of football for 5 years to come start quarterback for you in the dead heat of the season with a team trying to make the playoffs. This is a panic button, and it's unfortunate for the Indianapolis Colts, and I feel like it's unfortunate for Phillip Rivers as well.
Colts currently 8th in the AFC. Baseball Dodgers got bullpen help and the best closer on the free market. Agreed on a 3-year, $69 million deal with former Mets reliever Edwin Diaz. Slugger Kyle Schwarber finalizing a 5-year, $150 million contract to stay with the Phillies. Amid potential NFL interest, Notre Dame will push to keep coach Marcus Freeman and make him one of college football's highest paid coaches.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy, coming up Wednesday. Chiefs, Ravens, or Bengals. I'll tell you which team will actually benefit from missing the playoffs this year. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's ride!
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
You, sir. And Mr. Toby Tomplin. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Sean Salisbury in 1 hour. I do want to talk in about 15 minutes or so about Frank Wilson, who at his press conference today via Zoom to open up LSU's Texas Bowl preparation did discuss his future. So let's hear Frank on his future coming up here in about 15 minutes from right now. Chris Marler is with us, SEC writer over at LouisianaSports.net. I've never had anyone more awkward in studio, especially considering someone who's actually done a lot of media.
Yeah.
You doing okay? Headphones?
I think it's the chair. The
sitting in a chair
really throwing me off.
Sitting in a chair is throwing you off?
Because my feet aren't touching the ground. I feel like Kevin Hart.
I mean, you can't just put your feet on the. I mean, there's a footrest. Do you not reach?
Let's move on.
So real talk?
Oh no.
No, for real. Like here?
There's a footrest?
No, I have a metal chair over here that I put my feet on.
Oh, that's cool.
That's what
you gave me nothing
intentionally.
Just the abyss.
Let me ask you a question. How many times on my solo show is someone sitting over there? Right.
I feel like you gave that away. Context clues.
Yeah, got it.
Up on it. None.
You have a column that you wrote about the committee and the field as it is, the field of 12. Give me your overall thoughts on the field of 12. You can go read it at Louisiana Sports Net if you want. The field of 12 as the committee put it out.
I mean, I was shocked that Notre Dame did not make it. Like just very, very surprised. Not saying they should or should not be in. I thought they should be in. I understand the argument against them with Miami. I was shocked that Bama didn't move down. That seemed to be the biggest argument for like 6 straight weeks. And it was nonstop each and every week with them. And then BYU and a little bit with Vanderbilt and Texas as well. But I thought the team that had the biggest gripe out of anybody that was valid was Georgia. I mean, but what we keep talking about playing these conference championship games, and you shouldn't be penalized if you lose like Bama wasn't. But if you won the conference championship in the SEC and you don't move up at all, that was shocking to me.
I guess the whole thing with Georgia is, does it really matter if you're 1 through 4?
The 3 seed actually is a pretty good path. No, for this specific playoff.
Oh, I just mean in general. Like if you just want the bye, right? Is it? I think in terms of like the NCAA tournament, March Madness. I mean, having the 1 extra name is good, but if you're 2, does it really matter? If you're 3, I mean, does it really? I mean, eventually you're going to play good teams along the way, and you're going to have favorable matchups the first couple of rounds, sort of thing. As long as you have a bye, right? That's
right.
Do you think it matters?
I mean, if I can get anywhere close to the bracket where the G6 school, or I guess 2 of them this year, Tulane and James Madison, I would have much more prefer that. But also, it's kind of a loaded field, even with those 2 in there. That's why I was hoping they would have done something and only put 1 in, because you would have kept Notre Dame in, and it would have been a lot of blue bloods. It would have been a lot of really good brands and a lot of good teams.
What would your 12 have looked like?
Oh, that's tough. Indiana number 1, Georgia 2, Ohio State 3, Texas Tech 4, 5. I would have probably had Ole Miss, 6 Oregon, 7 Texas A&M, 8 Oklahoma, 9 probably Notre Dame, 10 Bama, 11 Texas, and then actually taking it away from them just to piss them off. That would have been a lot of fun.
Wait, you're gonna put him in and then taking him out?
I would have loved to see Vandy get like any sort of love in there, but I don't think they really.
Why didn't they?
No idea. They didn't really have a quality win. There wasn't a great win. It was Mizzou. And
we had that convo with Russ every week here on Wednesdays. I mean, they were right there among the 10 and 2s, but nobody gave Vanderbilt any sort of opportunity to be in this conversation. Yet there's Miami and Notre Dame.
Yeah, I mean, like those are probably similar resumes. I think the strength of schedule was better for Vandy, but they didn't have a quality win besides Mizzou.
Why would you have had Notre Dame in? You said 9. You would have had them at 9. Why would you have had them in?
Well, they were really good in this final 10 games, as their AD said today. It was one of the most dominant stretches in the history of college football, which was...
Bro, the history of college football.
There's so much history. They should know that.
That's a really bad statement.
You know there's also like one Notre Dame like historian fan that's like real pissed about like not respecting the 1919 team that just...
That Frank Leahy squad, that was great in like 46.
Beat Ace Hardware by like 52 that year. It was awesome. I think they are really talented. They're really good. They were blowing folks out for most of the season. But the resume was not as good as any of the other 3 teams they were grouped with. So I expected them to at least go down. I did not think they were going to get out. Also, you didn't watch the shows, but the reason they gave...
This is why I don't watch the shows.
It was comical. It was like, well, we can't really compare Miami and Notre Dame side by side. And they said, why? He said, because they're not side by side. They're 2 spots apart. Can't wrap our heads around it.
You do realize that that's why for 5 years I've not watched the show.
Yeah.
Because ultimately what this committee does is whatever they want,
right,
and then they explain it with no consideration of what they said before.
Yeah.
And when they get to the last ranking, they'll do whatever they want with no consideration of what was said before. So there's no point. It's not being like obstinate. It's just there's no point in watching any of the. It's a TV show.
Right.
That's all it is.
It's a reality show.
That's all it is. It's just it's a TV show on Tuesdays to fill inventory and to create conversation, which they do a good job of that. But if you're trying to extract some value from the rankings that they put out, there is none. I mean, it's shown over and over again. This goes back to the first year. In 2014, they had TCU number 2 in the penultimate rankings, and then moved them completely out of the field.
Right.
Like, it makes no sense. It's never made sense.
2023 Georgia was egregious. I mean, that was like, it's a 14 playoff, so and there's a lot of like really good teams that had really good records that year. But man, 29 straight wins. They hadn't lost in the regular season in like 3 years. They lose by 3 and they drop to 6. That's awful.
Back-to-back national champs. They're undefeated. They lose the conference championship game. They're out of the playoff. I always try to look at it, and that was my conversation about this year's Bama team. And I said it yesterday on the show. There's nobody in the world that would have stood to benefit more from Bama being left out than me.
Oh, yeah.
There's not a human alive.
I was shocked.
Can you imagine Can you imagine what this show would have been on Monday with like Lane Kiffin, Bama losing badly out of the playoff? My God, it would have been euphoric here. Yeah. I mean, Bama fans would have found my address. But anyway.
I would have given it to him.
I would have punched you in the face and then fired you.
I thought that video was AI. I'm not making a joke.
Yeah.
I honestly thought it was AI.
No, it's real. Because I always look at it from the standpoint of, all right, if that's me, what would I be saying about my team?
Right.
And the reality is, if that was LSU and they were left out, we'd be ready to riot.
Yeah.
It's just true. So I can look at it that way. Okay, so the column that's up today over at LouisianaSports.net, if you want to read it, and Chris Marler's with us. It's Vern something on Twitter. He's had like 10 accounts, and he keeps losing them because he's inappropriate on Twitter. What is it now?
Vern Funquist. But there's an underscore.
Yeah.
Vern underscore Funquist.
You have to have the underscore. That's the point. Like, you're Vern Funquist and Dumbquist and underscores, and you keep losing accounts.
Yeah. I haven't lost one in like a year and a half.
Good job.
Since I started working here.
Good job.
No big deal.
Wonder why that's happened.
Because you scare me a lot? Yeah.
Probably a good reason. Vern underscore Funquist, which is actually that's really clever. Okay, college football playoff is broken. How to fix it? I want everybody to go read this so we get clicks at LouisianaSports.net to justify Marler's salary. But give me the Cliff Notes. So how do you fix it?
I mean, honestly, I think that you have kind of sabotaged yourself by adding the G6 schools, like because you're trying to be like inclusive with more teams. I think that basically they got enamored with the idea that every 12 versus 5 matchup in every couple of years was going to be Boise State, Oklahoma. Just let the G6 schools have their own playoff. And then, because no matter how many teams you go to, you can go to 14, and as soon as you get to 14, whoever's at 15 and 16 is going to start complaining about that. It's never going to stop. I think you got to go back to the BCS or computers. You cannot have, not even for the fact that I would worry about like inherent bias or like somebody's opinion about a team in their own conference because of the ADs that are involved, but more so because I don't want to hear fans make excuses that's what's happening when the rankings come out.
I don't really care about fans. I agree with you. You need to get rid of the committee, but it's because going into a season, you should know what the standard is.
Right.
Like, there shouldn't be some arbitrary committee subjectively deciding things at the end.
Different every year. Different every single year.
And that makes it very hard to schedule. It makes it hard to know what to do. Like, do you need to blow teams out? Do you need style points? Like all that. So we agree there. The issue with the G6, and I am a self-described college football elitist.
Mm.
I very much endorse the G6 having programs. I just don't want Power 4 programs playing them to fund their programs because I don't ever want to see a power. You were in Tiger Stadium for the Western Kentucky game.
Oh my God!
There is not a human soul that wants to see that game.
No, I came for the mascot.
Awful. Yeah, no doubt. Awful. Like, give me real games that people want to see. Let the G6 go have their own play, but they'll never do it, Marler, because of the money.
Right.
It is more lucrative for them to get the crumbs from the table of the college football playoff than to have their own playoff, which will not be nearly as lucrative, which is why we have this charade, whatever this nonsense is.
Way more entertaining. Like we would have 3 every year: FCS, G5, and then the Power 4. But I think it's what sucks is because you were at 4. Remember they did all the research on the numbers. It was like, well, the semifinal games are blowouts more often than not. They're like the winner is usually winning by like 19 points per game. So we need to have it more competitive. And instead of just going to like 6 or 8, like a normal transition, it was 12 right off the bat.
Yeah.
Right off the bat.
Who's going to win the national championship?
I kind of think it's going to be Indiana. I got to delete a lot of tweets if that's the case.
I'm here for that so much. Are they going to fire Kalen DeBose whenever he loses?
So I asked you this yesterday. What do they have to do in this playoff to like feel like they had a successful
season? You asked me this?
I think so.
No, you didn't.
In my head, I did.
You did not ask me this question.
Well, I'm asking now. It's like for
That's
Bama,
not how this works. It's my show. I ask the questions. You're the guest. You answer.
Okay. What was the question again? Who are they going to fire?
Chris
him?
Marler,
They're not gonna
everybody,
fire him.
at Vern _.
Nailed it.
They're not going to fire him?
No, they're not going to fire him. Who are they going to hire?
Good. I'm so glad. Another 4-loss season next year is going to be awesome.
Who would they go hire at this point?
I don't care. Someone else that'll lose 4 games a year, and I'll just keep laughing at all the Bama people.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, they have fallen off a cliff at the end of the season.
I know, it's so good, right?
That's so bad.
I mean, they had -3 rushing yards in that game. Dude, I was Googling the last time Alabama was shut out. It was the Iron Bowl. 25 years ago. It was so close.
It was 33 degrees, and it poured rain the entire time.
So good.
Terrible.
Yeah. You sound like you were there.
I was there. That was not a very fun day. I will tell you this. We left Atlanta on a Sunday morning, and I get in the elevator. My buddies are wearing, like, Bama stuff, and there's a couple of Georgia fans in there. We're just kind of, like, laughing about, like, great game, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And it gets quiet for a second. The guy just goes, you guys realize that all 7 of us in this elevator had more rushing yards than Alabama yesterday?
So good. That happened. Man, I wanted to do Bama burning so bad yesterday. We couldn't do it with them in the playoff.
You can. That's not going to stop you.
Oh, see, the best part about them making the playoff is they're not winning a national championship, so they're going to lose. And so when they lose, they'll have another 4-loss season, which is awesome and even better. So they'll have back-to-back 4-loss seasons, which hasn't happened since 06-07.
Yeah.
And then next year they're going to lose 4 again. Because if they had gone to some crappy bowl game and somehow managed to win it, then they'd be like 10-3, and they'd be like, 10-win season for Kalen DeBose, whatever. But now when they lose and they'll be 9-4, I'll be like, haha, idiots, you lost 4 again.
That's a weird feeling going into a playoff and having 0% confidence that team is able to win a national championship.
Yeah, because they stink.
Yeah.
He's Chris Marler, Vern _Funquist. Read his stuff at louisianasports.net or else. All right, thank you. By the way, vests are better when you have a long sleeve shirt under the vest.
I got so much to learn.
It's like long sleeve and then a vest.
My feet are asleep over here in this chair.
They're just dangling over there.
Day.
Yeah. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by First South Farm Credit, firstsouthland.com, firstsouthland.com. Yep, you're going to walk right in front of the camera, aren't you? Yep, just stay right there. firstsouthland.com. Thinking of buying land, your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. Mincy did that. Ben Mintz just literally just stopped right there. I mean, just standing right in front. His back was just right in front of the camera during a live read. If you need to buy land, your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. Not just land in Louisiana. Let's say you want to buy land in Mississippi for that hunting camp, or Texas, or Alabama. I don't know why you'd want to live there, but if you did, you could, and you could buy land there, and First South Farm Credit can help because they can help you buy land in any of the lower 48. So you want to buy a big old dude ranch in Montana, 500 acres, maybe more acres for a dude ranch, I don't know. First South Farm Credit can help. But start at the website, firstsouthland.com.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit louisianapropane.com to find out about propane generators and other safety tips. Louisiana Propane, it truly is the fuel for our future.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Falgu.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders. We're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact of champions. Together, we roar.
I'm lawyer Collins Locke Meredith. Among the most important factors to consider when you're hiring an injury attorney is trust. You trust your attorney will put your interest first, treat you with respect, fairness, and honesty. You trust them to be there for you when you need them. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, thousands of clients have trusted us to represent them, and for good reasons. Please visit us at LockeMeredith.com to learn more, and whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
You gotta believe in the dream. Believe. You gotta believe in the dream. Believe. You gotta believe. Whole team on wildin'.
This menu is a masterpiece. Delivers every time.
This is the worst party ever. Raisin Cane's!
Let's go!
The party is...
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
She likes the way it's pulling while we're tilling up her land. She's even kind of crazy about my farmers.
Wanted to make sure that I was connected to the story of it. I gotta be honest, I got a little emotionally involved in the game, at times, and something I try to, remind our players is like, hey, watch these games. Let's try not to get too, emotionally connected. But how can you not? It impacts all of us in this division, and certainly it impacts us going into this week with another division opponent.
Dave Canales was obviously watching the Saints-Bucks with a keen eye. With the Bucks lost, now the Panthers and the Bucks are tied atop the NFC South. Saints host the Panthers this weekend at the Superdome. Of course, the Saints beat Carolina Panthers back in Charlotte earlier this year. It was Tyler Shuck's first win. So what does he do for an encore? We'll find out this weekend. A couple of notes. The Saints will stick, by the way, with Charlie Smith after missing his the first field goal attempt. It was his first miss, I should say, this past weekend, the 48-yarder that he missed in the first half, which was disappointing. But they're going to stick with him, give him his third opportunity here. If he wavers again, we could see Cade York. That's something notable. It's also interesting coming out of the Bucks game. We always like to look at the Pro Football Focus grade, something we do a lot with the LSU games coming out of the weekends, but with the Saints as well. And Ross Jackson has a big write-up at LouisianaSports.net, similar to what Hunt does for the LSU games, breaking down the PFF grades. And I think sometimes you can always derive a few things from PFF. For New Orleans, the top 5 graded players overall, Pete Werner, Juwan Johnson, Tyler Shuck, Alontae Taylor, of course, had an interception. But maybe the most encouraging one was Kelvin Banks, who had a 79.9 grade. And I think the most interesting part of Banks' grade was how well he did in the run game. And, of course, the 34-yard touchdown run for Tyler Shuck was around the left side with Banks leading the way. And some of those design runs were to the left side behind Banks. So that's one of the things that, as we've talked about, a big athletic franchise left tackle, we think so much about pass protection, but when typically the left side of your line is your better pass blockers, the right side of your line are your better run blockers. But this is one of those instances where you have a really good run blocking left tackle as well there with Banks. The other thing that stands out when you look at the bottom 5, your 5 lowest graded players, the lowest graded player on the entire team was Taysom Hill with a 26.9 grade. Jonah Williams, Jonathan Bullard, Cesar Ruiz, and Quincy Riley. And Ruiz, he's just permanently entrenched in these bottom rankings because he's, as we've talked about, one of the worst in the NFL at his position. He's one of the worst starters in his position. He was the lowest graded run blocker on the team. Had a nice day in pass protection, but he did allow a pressure and a hurry. And he did have the intentional man downfield penalty on the 4th down play where the Saints looked like they had converted, but it was negated as a result. Quincy Riley, his day could have been even worse. Look, Emeka Ibuka dusted Quincy Riley and on the slant, and it was just a drop. It could have been a better ball by Baker, but that's a throw that would have given Tampa a late lead in the ball game had Ibuka been able to catch it. But Riley caught a break there, but still one of your lowest graded players defensively. And it's one of the things that we keep looking for are the young guys making progress that you can build around. And Riley is one of those getting an opportunity now at cornerback opposite Kool-Aid McKinstry. So, we will we'll obviously keep a close eye in the final 4 games of the season on how some of these young guys continue to progress. But a nice day for Banks at left tackle, not so much for Riley at cornerback. And as it continues throughout the season, we'll keep an eye on those. But another obviously great day for Tyler Shuck as well. All right, it's After Further Review. We're brought to you by Evamore, EVAMOR, Evamore.com, Evamore.com. Drink Evamore. We always have a bottle of Evamore here on set with me. I drink 2 the 64-ounce bottles every single day, especially during this time of year. You got to stay hydrated, y'all. It's so important that you stay hydrated. And when it's cold outside, we don't maybe have that insatiable thirst. And so because you're not thirsty, you forget to drink water. But it's so important. And the source matters as well. And Evamore is natural artesian water. You want a natural product from these ancient underground aquifers, Mother Nature's masterpiece, as they call it, and it's delicious. Drink Evamore. And it's a Louisiana product. Evamore, EVAMOR, Evamore.com, Evamore.com. We are, in just a few minutes, I do want to talk about Frank Wilson, who, for the first time, talked about his future from his own voice, his future in Baton Rouge with the LSU Tigers. We'll get to that in just a quick second. But the other thing that is now official are the Heisman finalists. And I don't know that it's any great surprise here. We know the Heisman finalists. We're going to be the 2 Big Ten quarterbacks with, Mendoza and Julian Sayin and Diego Pavia and Julian Love. Those are the 4 finalists now for the Heisman Trophy. The thing that I was kind of hoping to see, well, first of all, I don't know. You want to invite Jeremiah Love, fine. I mean, there's no set number of finalists that they have to invite. Typically, they look at the voting, and where there's a gigantic drop-off is where they cut the line. My guess is when we see these votes, you're going to have a gigantic drop-off after the 3 quarterbacks to Jeremiah Love, who's going to finish 4th in this thing, and Fernando Mendoza is going to win it. But I would have loved to have seen Diego Pavia win the Heisman. But an Indiana quarterback does offer a degree of inclusion at the table of college football, which I'm here for. I mean, I love the fact that it's not the same 5 teams every year that actually have a chance to win or win a Heisman or win the national championship. And that's what the new era of transfer portal, NIL, rev share, playoff has done. It's brought the ceiling down and in some cases raised the floor, compressing everybody closer to the middle. So you've got more teams. Yeah, I mean, your Ohio States and Georgias are still there, but you can see the Indiana and Vanderbilt quarterbacks in New York as Heisman finalists, which is incredible. Diego Pavia was a guest on The Pivot, and with RC and the guys talked about what it would mean to win the Heisman.
Dude, that would mean I can't even put it into words how much that means. I still remember Johnny winning it, and I used to watch Johnny's tape. I could tell you front to back what it has, and it has Johnny's when he accepts the award, and it was just like, dude, I want that to be me one day. That's what I was thinking, I want that to be me one day. Now it's coming full circle, and it's like just to have an opportunity at it. I think that's a big blessing, but I'm super excited for it, and I can't wait.
Pavia with just under 3,200 passing yards and 27 passing touchdowns. Fernando Mendoza is going to win it with 2,980 passing yards and 33 touchdowns. For context, Joe Burrow threw for over 5,000 yards and 60 touchdowns in his Heisman winning season. Somebody's got to win it, and Mendoza wasn't awesome, but his team won the 1 versus 2 matchup, 13-10, and he made the plays late. And as a result, he's going to win it. He's a overwhelming betting favorite now to win the Heisman Trophy. So we'll get that announcement on Saturday. By the way, today, December the 9th, incidentally, is the anniversary of 2 of LSU's Heisman winners. The late Dr. Billy Cannon won the Heisman Trophy on December the 9th in 1959. And Jaden Daniels, just a couple of years ago, won the Heisman Trophy on December the 9th, 2023. So we were in New York that day. It was an amazing opportunity to be there to cover that event, all the history surrounding the Heisman Trophy and everything. To see an LSU player win, it was awesome. So there'll be more history this weekend in New York City. So it'll be Fernando Mendoza, who right now, as we look at it, is just a I'm trying to pull up the odds right now as they sit, but he's an overwhelming betting favorite to win the Heisman Trophy. If you give me one quick second, I'll have it. But I thought I had it. I can't find it. Anyway, it's overwhelming for Fernando Mendoza. He's going to win it. By this point, you know how the odds are going to go, who's going to win it. So Mendoza will win it on Saturday, but it's great honor and opportunity for all those guys to get up to New York and be part of the Heisman finalist ceremony. All right, it's after further review. Let me knock on a quick break. Come back. When we get back, I do want to talk a little bit about Frank Wilson, his comments about his future at LSU. You'll hear him next on AFR.
AFR.
REV. Let's Rev. Let'sRev.com. 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 REV. 90 years of local service. Lightning fast internet speeds. When you call Rev, you get local people at a local office to talk to. You're not ushered off to some call center in a foreign country. Rev is local where they've been for 90 years. Also, some of the other benefits of switching to Rev, you get faster, more reliable internet. You get speeds up to 5 gigs. The Wi-Fi equipment is included at no additional cost. There are no long-term contract required. Interested yet? There's no unexpected price increases after your promotional period ends. The price is the price. And there's no data caps or hidden bandwidth overage charges. And it's 100% local service and support. You're never routed to an overseas call center. So what are you waiting for? Let's Rev. Let'sRev.com.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
Dr. Johnson, that's my guy. He gonna tell me when I need to do better. He gonna tell me when I need to slow down. And I trust him 100%. The medical care that I receive at LSU and with Our Lady of the Lake is top tier. I really trust what they telling me, and they keep me right.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even JB could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of JB Falgu.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock care. Visit us at decisioncriticalbr.com and give us a call today to get started.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to find more information and to find a propane dealer near you, visit louisianapropane.com.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs. Set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free confidential help now.
Investing in a new roof doesn't have to be overwhelming. At Pelican Roofing, we offer 0 interest for 21 months because everyone deserves a safe, secure...
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
As always, appreciate Sunshine. Make sure you check out sunequip.com. Bunky and below, you want a Deere, you're going to Sunshine. Sunequip.com, sunequip.com. Frank Wilson met with reporters on via Zoom on Tuesday for the Texas Bowl press conference. As the team will begin work for Houston. They have a team meeting here on Tuesday. They'll hit the practice field on Thursday. And amid all of this, Frank Wilson's future is very much up in the air. Frank was asked for clarity on his future and whether or not he expects to be back as a part of Lane Kiffin's staff.
No, we've had conversations, and for me and for Coach Kiff, it's let's play this game on the 27th, and we'll go into those details later. We just want to finish what we've started with this football team, with the team of 2025, give them our undivided attention before transition happens. And so until then, nothing will necessarily happen in that regard. There'll be opportunity there. Where that lies, I'm not sure, but the priority is our current football team.
I want you to contrast the reaction with Frank Wilson and Blake Baker. LSU went to the end of the earth to try to retain Blake Baker. They're going to pay him $3 million a year. Lane Kiffin is on Friday night tweeting about staying in Baton Rouge for meetings to make sure Blake Baker stayed. You're retaining that staff. I mean, it was a complete and total priority to retain Blake Baker. And I'm not saying it shouldn't have been, by the way. I mean, he's taking your defense from statistically the worst defense that you had in 2023 to 25th in total defense, 15th in scoring defense in 2 years. Yes, that should have been a priority. But when you contrast how they approached retaining Baker and where things are with Frank and how he answered that question right there, so non-committal, it kind of tells you the answer without telling you the answer. Every time we talk about this, and I have a feeling it's going to come up again before LSU plays the bowl game and we know what the finality is, I just want to be on the record, just abundantly clear. I want Frank Wilson on LSU staff. I want Frank Wilson to be LSU's running backs coach and recruiting coordinator. I think that's what's best for LSU. Now, Lane Kiffin ain't going to ask my opinion. That's okay. It's his prerogative. He's the head coach. He can hire who he wants. And it is very clear that if Lane Kiffin was prioritizing having Frank Wilson on staff in that role, it would already be done. He's there. He's in the building. He's coaching the team. He's the recruiting coordinator. If you wanted him, hire him. He's there. Just say you're retained. The fact that that hasn't happened tells you the story. And it's the thing we've talked about a bit here already, which is Lane Kiffin's running back coach is Kevin Smith, who played at UCF, played in the NFL with the Lions, joined Kiffin's staff at FAU, was with him for 3 years there, 6 years in Oxford. They've been together for 9 years. When Lane Kiffin was introduced last Monday, Knox was in the front row. The kid sitting next to Knox was Kevin Smith's son. Their families are very close. That's his running backs coach. He wants him on staff. And he's holding a spot for him. It's very obvious. And it's his prerogative. And he can do that. I hope, I'll say it again, that this isn't a lesson that Lane Kiffin has to learn the hard way. Because you have got to have deeply rooted connections on the staff in New Orleans. And there is nobody better than Frank Wilson. The New Orleans area high school coaches are a fraternity that are close-knit, and we've seen that over the years. When Frank left, Les hired Jabbar Jalouk. Ed got the job in 2017. He fired Jabbar. It was a big dust-up among the New Orleans area coaches when Jabbar Jalouk was fired after 1 year. It took some mending of fences there. There are those that are going to argue, and you're right, that LSU won a national championship in 2003, in 2007, and 2019 without Frank Wilson on staff. That's true. He was on staff in 2011 when they played for a national title. Should have won it. And he has been responsible for recruiting some of the best players in the history of this program to LSU. But they've won without him. And I have no doubt that LSU can and will win if Frank Wilson's not on staff. I'm not saying this is a binary thing. If he's here, you'll win. If he's not, you won't. I'm not suggesting that at all. What I am saying is there is a direct correlation to the most successful teams in the history of this program having a direct pipeline to New Orleans and how essential it is to recruit the state, in particular that city. I mean, my goodness, Edna Carr had 15 Division I signees on this team. Like, say that slowly and think out loud. Like, Edna Carr had 15 Division I signees on this team. You got to recruit New Orleans. And there's nobody better to do that than Frank. So, look, if he's not retained, they'll have to figure it out. I know I've spelled this out for you again, but for those who are saying, why can't he coach special teams or give him the run game coordinator title or something along those lines, it's not about creating a title. Remember, staffs are limited to 10 full-time assistants. And those 10 full-time assistants are the only ones that can go recruit off campus. Analysts can coach on the field now. So it's not about that. It's about being one of the 10 full-time assistants that are paid like full-time assistants and can recruit off campus, which of course you want Frank to be able to do. And you've got your 5 defensive assistants already, and you've got 4 offensive assistants already. So you have 1 spot left on your offensive staff. And it's very clear Lane Kiffin's holding that for Kevin Smith if he comes after Ole Miss's playoff run. If he doesn't and he stays in Oxford, which I'm hoping is what happens. I hope Kevin Smith stays in Oxford. I don't know that I believe that's going to happen. If you made me bet, I'd bet he comes. I don't have any information. I'm not breaking news. I don't know. I'm looking at circumstantial evidence, which is pretty clear to me and probably to a lot of us here at this point. And you can listen to Frank Wilson and the uncertainty today, and it kind of tells you the story. Because if he wanted to hire him, he'd already be hired. So I hope Kevin Smith stays in Oxford and Lane retains Frank Wilson. I don't necessarily believe that's how this is going to go, but we'll find out in time. But if that is what happens, if the Texas Bowl is the last game that Frank Wilson coaches at LSU, and then Kevin Smith comes in to be LSU's running backs coach, then Lane Kiffin's going to have work to do to make sure he solidifies the relationships in New Orleans with someone or multiple people on staff in whatever variety of roles to make sure those relationships remain firm. Because, well, it doesn't have to be Frank Wilson. You have to put a fence around New Orleans and make sure the best players in that city end up in Baton Rouge. So making sure that connection is solid is one of the most important things Lane Kiffin will do in recruiting and building staff and roster at LSU. So I hope it's Frank Wilson, but if it's not, Lane Kiffin's going to have a big decision to make with how he makes sure that pipeline remains flowing. All right, it's after further review. We're glad you're with us. A great meeting over today at Parish Construction and Roofing. Of course, I'm a partner over there with Richard Tilley and Ryan Terrio and Joe and our whole staff. We always do our Tuesday marketing meeting. We just wrapped up our 12 Days of Christmas giveaway. Really incredible. Not something we did, not something we did to try to generate leads or anything. It was just a great opportunity, and I'm not even saying it necessarily from the Parish perspective. It's more because we had great partners that teamed with us. Duplessis Builders, Ruckus, Chris's Specialty Foods, to put together great packages to bless 12 families in our area, which was, we got to do that last week, and it was so rewarding to do. But we love being community partners, and we'd love to help you out. Hey, look, we had tons of rain this weekend. If you had rain and you noticed, you had water spots on your ceiling, you had leaks, we We'd love to help you out. Repairs, replacements, commercial, residential. We even do soft wash. We do gutters. We do it all. It's Parish Construction and Roofing. Go to parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com. Just fill out the form on the homepage there at parishbuilt.com and do business with someone you know. Parish Construction and Roofing, parishbuilt.com. All right, y'all, it is after further review. We're going to knock out our final break here of hour number 2. We'll come back. Muse will do Tigers and the Pros. Sean Salisbury's here in 17 minutes from right now. Thanks for hanging out on a Tuesday edition of AFR. Powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
AFR.
Christmas is upon us, and it is not too late to go get your Christmas tree. And if you're going to get your Christmas tree, make sure you go to Clegg's. I was talking to Miss Teresa yesterday. They still have an amazing selection of Christmas trees. You want to add that little spruce of Christmas spirit to your home, to your office, go pick up your Christmas tree at Clegg's. Also, an amazing selection of poinsettias over at any of the 4 Clegg's nursery locations. And they're grown here locally in their greenhouses. And so shipments arrive almost daily. So you don't have to worry about the selection being picked over. They've got an awesome selection with new arrivals and new shipments arriving almost daily at all 4 locations. Siegen Air Airline, LA 16 in Denham, Mid-City on Donmore, Garden Center on Greenwell Springs, and if you've already decorated and now you're doing your shopping, a Clegg's gift card is a great gift for the green thumb on your list. So buy local, shop local, and tell them Matt sent you to Clegg's Nursery.
Trust isn't given, it's earned. On the field, I trust my team. For my healthcare, I trust the lake.
Our Lady of the Lake sports medicine experts know what it takes to improve performance and build champions at every level. That's why LSU chose Our Lady of the Lake as its championship health partner, trusting Louisiana's best medical team to care for our state's best athletes. From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
I trust the lake.
With all the delicious chicken finger options, it was an impossible decision.
How about a box combo? Good. Now what can I get for you?
No, I want a Caniac combo with extra cane sauce, no slaw, 2 extra toast, and a half sweet tea, half lemonade.
Celebrate the holidays with Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and First American Bank and Trust bring you the Heart of the Game Award, recognizing student athletes who deliver when it counts. Nominate your game day standout at 1045ESPN.com by the 21st. We'll choose 5 male and 5 female finalists, and then it's up to the fans to vote for the winners. Each winner gets a $250 gift card, a custom award, and the spotlight they've earned. Presented by First American Bank and Trust, a banking tradition since 1910.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. If you're battling an insurance company because of a wreck not your fault and they're not calling you back or being fair, whether you hire us at all, give us a call, 272-5555, or email Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates. You have nothing to lose.
Hello, I'm Collins Meredith. If you've been injured on the job, you likely have a workers' compensation claim, but you may also have a tort claim, which opens up significant recovery rights not normally available for a work injury. If this is you, call us or come see us at Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even JB could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of JB Falgu.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Savor game day platters and snacks, plus drink specials at 1717 Kitchen.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
Climb up in the loft, sit and talk with the radio.
All right, wrapping up hour number 2. Glad you're with us. Sean Salisbury will be here in about a dozen minutes from right now. We're looking forward to that conversation. Get his take on Tyler Shuck, that development. A little bit as well about Lane Kiffin. Now, we missed Sean last week, so we didn't get his reaction to Lane being the LSU coach. Sean's known Lane Kiffin since Lane was, I think, in high school. So we'll get Sean's take on that as well, what we can expect. So, ton to do, and glad to have you hanging out with us here. Again, Sean Salisbury, in about a dozen minutes from right now. Right now, Mutes, Tigers in the Pros.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now.
All right, we'll start with Monday Night Football. A crazy game that turned out to be between the Chargers and the Eagles. Dante Jackson factored into it for L.A. Got his 4th interception of the year on Monday night to go along with the tackle and 3 passes defense. The 4 interceptions has Dante Jackson sitting at number 6 in the entire NFL in that category. So a very, very productive year for the former Tiger. We now have an update on Jaden Daniels and the re-injury of his left elbow. That, of course, happened in the 3rd quarter on Sunday. Dan Quinn, meeting with the media on Monday evening, said there's not an update in terms of if he can play this week. They'll continue to monitor that, but he was evaluated Monday in the building by the staff, and there is no permanent or long-term damage there. Again, it's just really sore. He kind of landed straight on it, Quinn said, but it didn't further the injury in terms of long-term concern. So perhaps you'll see Jaden Daniels back out on the field this Sunday for the Washington Commanders. We'll keep you updated there. An update to the NBA on Cam Thomas, Brooklyn Nets guard. He's been out since sustaining a left hamstring strain. That was back on November 5th. He was reevaluated late last week, showed healing of the hamstring, did an MRI. He has begun on-court work and will be updated in approximately 2 more weeks, looking for a late December return, potentially for Cam Thomas. That obviously would be pivotal for the Nets. He was supposed to be their scorer, as we know Cam Thomas can be. And then Naz Reid, a night ago for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Tough 3-point loss for them, but Naz was on the floor for 30 minutes in the ball game. Grabbed 9 rebounds, great total there. Struggled a little bit from the floor, just 2 of 12, but both of them were threes, so he did total up 6 points in the loss. That's Tigers in the Pros.
Presented by Our Lady of the Lake, championship health partner of LSU Athletics. When Baton Rouge calls, champions answer. And as Coach Kiffin takes the helm, energy is building, the excitement's in the air. But next season's work starts now and behind the scenes every day, on and off the field, as championship health partners. LSU and FMOL Health, Our Lady of the Lake providers, are in the huddle, keeping students and teams healthy, supporting campus life, preparing everyone for what's ahead, from checkups to training to day-to-day care. The focus is on giving their best when it matters most. As Coach Kiffin settles in and our city welcomes him and his family, one thing is clear. The next play starts now, and Louisiana is ready. FMOL Health, Our Lady of the Lake, and LSU, championship health partners. Learn more at ololrmc.com/LSU, ololrmc.com/LSU. Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, together we roar. This is one interesting thing that we got to follow in the coming days. Notre Dame, of course, was left out of the college football playoff. That's not really the story anymore. It happened, whatever. But their head coach, Marcus Freeman, is now the betting favorite to be the new head coach of the New York Giants. And by the way, this isn't just like a small thing. He has minus 200 odds to be the next head coach. The next closest is Mike McCarthy at 5-1, which is plus 500. Meaning Marcus Freeman is an overwhelming favorite to be the next head coach of the Giants. Now, I know we just went through this with the LSU saga, which stretched out for 6 weeks. And there was a variety of different coaches that led the odds at different points throughout that search. At one point, Nick Saban was the betting favorite. Kenny Dillingham was the betting favorite. Joe Brady was the betting favorite at one point. But as it got closer to the end, Lane Kiffin became the betting favorite, and then those odds continued to shorten. Like, it was pretty obvious he was the guy. And, man, it's not so much seeing Freeman on the list, but at the top of the list, and so overwhelming at the top of the list is a little jarring. Maybe it's just that I'm removed and distant from, I don't cover Notre Dame. I don't really care. But that is a premier job in college football that, in a cycle where LSU came open and Florida came open, and you had a handful of SEC jobs along with Penn State. Notre Dame here would be very late to the party if, in fact, Freeman does leave and go become the head coach of the Giants. I have no idea what direction they would go if he does leave, but that would certainly kickstart another spin of the coaching carousel, because obviously Notre Dame would have to hire somebody, and I would assume they would hire someone away from another school. Now, they could promote internally like they did with Marcus Freeman. Brian Kelly left, they elevated Marcus Freeman. Could Mike Denbrock be a possibility? I'm spitballing here. I don't know that, but Denbrock's now in his second stint with Notre Dame. He's beloved by players. He's a great offensive mind, as we've seen. Maybe that's a possibility there, but if it's not, then does Notre Dame go hire a sitting head coach elsewhere and kickstart a new spin of the coaching carousel? This is one worth watching here in the coming days, as you still have a month remaining in the NFL season, at which time you'd assume the Giants would hire their next head coach when the NFL season ends. But something worth watching here as this develops. Marcus Freeman, the betting favorite to be the next head coach of the New York Football Giants. So we'll keep an eye. All right, it's After Further Review. Tuesday shows powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. Remember, if you're shopping, they got great gifts for the kiddos, toy tractors, and the riding tractors as well. I kind of like the old Power Wheel kind. What kid wouldn't want that? Get it, Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. All right, Sean Salisbury kicks off hour number 3 after SportsCenter.
AFR.
We're brought to you by Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Rouse's.com, Rouse's.com. Yo, Christmas is just about upon us. The holiday season is here. If you got that Christmas or holiday party, your work party, family coming over to the house, whatever you may need for your party, Rouse's is going to have it. And there's 70 Rouse's locations from Lake Charles to Orange Beach and points in between. So maybe you need some great recipes. They've got those at Rouse's.com. They got the taste of the holidays as well. Remember, if you are looking for any of your party trays, party platters, something that's easy, grab and go, bite size, the mini muffalettas, the fried catfish trays, the meat pies, they got all of those. Your sandwich trays, vegetable trays, fruit trays, your desserts, grab-and-go desserts are available, and your floral centerpieces in their floral department. They got everything for you at Rouse's. Rouse's.com, Rouse's.com. Rouse's, this feels like home.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
It's time for Christmas on the River, Cajun style. Join us for the 35th Annual Festival of the Bonfires, December 13th through 15th at Lutcher Park in St. James Parish. Enjoy great food, live music, local crafts, Santa's Very Merry Forest, and carnival rides. Plus, we'll light a new bonfire on Friday and Saturday in preparation for the arrival of Papa Noel. The 2024 Festival of the Bonfires is sponsored by First American Bank and Trust. Log on to festivalofthebonfires.org for more information.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. Propane water heaters are very cost efficient. And the savings are even greater with a tankless propane water heater. We all know that Louisiana propane is a safe and environmentally friendly fuel. So why not go green while you save some green? I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and for more information, visit louisianapropane.com.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs, set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free, confidential help now.
Most roofers just replace your shingles. At Pelican, we diagnose your roof, digging deep down to find the root cause of your roof symptoms. Now call for me? Good. We don't ignore your roof's issues, we address them. Let's just take care of this right here, helping your roof to become the best version of itself. Interesting that you would say that. How does that make you feel? So call Pelican Roofing for your free roof checkup today.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. 1,795 days after playing his last NFL game, Phillip Rivers is back. The 44-year-old rejoining the Colts on their practice squad as they deal with the season-ending torn Achilles of starting quarterback Daniel Jones and fellow QBs Riley Leonard and Anthony Richardson, also injured. Leonard's status Sunday at Seattle still unclear, so Rivers' immediate role remains to be seen. ESPN NFL analyst Jeff Saturday.
And look, I love Phil. This is no disrespect to Phil, but that Seattle defense ain't no joke. And not having any timing with any receiver, the NFL doesn't just pop off like that quite often. Now, can he go in and battle and do some things above the neck? I think he's 100% ready to rock and roll. That body at 44 is a little different. Them men over there trying to go hurt you.
Baseball Phillies finalized a 5-year, $150 million contract to hold on to slugger Kyle Schwarber. Former Mets closer Edwin Diaz reaching a 3-year, $69 million deal with the Dodgers. Amid potential NFL interest, Notre Dame will push to keep coach Marcus Freeman and make him one of college football's highest paid coaches.
Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's ride!
Hour 3 off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
You sir. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. 5 o'clock, quitting time. Glad you're driving home with us. Busy day and glad to have you hanging out with us here. We missed Sean Salisbury last week, but thrilled to have him hanging out with us here today on a busy day. Yo, man, how are you?
Doing great, man. How are you?
Doing awesome. Hey, since last we spoke, there have been 2 massive developments. One is LSU Lane Kiffin, and 2 is you are now the National Football Director for the National Scouting Report. Congrats on the new gig, man. Tell us what that's all about.
Thank you. Well, I have the whole country when it comes to football in the state of Texas. It kind of fell into my lap. I didn't really even put a resume in. My significant other just put it out there for the hell of it because I was waiting around saying, I'm not going to go do any work just yet. I'm going to wait and see about the radio situation and talk to my agent and a few jobs that I really wasn't ready to take. And The owner and the founder got on and saw the resume and said, after 5 minutes, I got a call, and met with him and his right-hand man, and it matched. We talked for 45 minutes to an hour. I was in Alabama all last week training. So, and the great thing about this, I've vetted these as a guy who coaches quarterbacks and trained throughout my career. They've been in business 45 years, Maddie, and I'm not a big money grab guy because, a lot of times people will, tell you they can get you recruited and don't. I can promise you we'll evaluate you right. And in 45 years of business and the character, and when you get them under your thumb and you place 98, 95% of them, gives these kids a chance, whether it's Division 1, 2, or 3, and some of them don't even know all the money and opportunities. I want them to be able to keep playing. And so as the director, the national football director across the country and all sports, but also the sports in the state of Texas, volleyball, women, men, softball, it's going to be a blast to get to scout them and help them and have them get through the process and see if there's a fit for us. And it's real evaluation. This isn't just a questionnaire. So I was honored that they reached out to me, but it's something, having a big background in high school kids and transfer portal kids. I'm pretty excited to do everything I can to help a women's softball player in Louisiana and a high school offensive tackle in California, whatever it takes, and got tremendous feedback and build those relationships with high school and college coaches. But it's a very reputable, good place. And being the national director was something that a big blessing falling in my lap. And I love the new challenge. I'll continue to do my media stuff, but this gives me a chance to go out and do something which I think is difference making. These kids deserve a chance to go play, and a lot of them don't realize that there's great football and great money and great opportunity and scholarships available outside of Division I as well.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. And we're obviously all over Louisiana. We have a huge Texas audience as well. So many LSU alums in Houston, Dallas, Austin. So many people listen and watch online. So if you got your kiddos and they're interested in being a college athlete, a recruitable athlete, check it out, nsr-inc.com, nsr-inc.com.
And we will evaluate them good, meet with the family because it's so important, and be honest and fair in the evaluation for them because you want what's best for the kid. Yeah. And I'm going to make sure that, but they already have. We're fortunate to work for a great company. So I'll scout them all if they're available and go far and wide to do it, man. So
that's
thanks
awesome.
Thanks for the mention.
Of course. Okay. We spoke 2 weeks ago and LSU was flirting with Lane Kiffin, and you mentioned to us then like how you've known Lane almost his whole life from the time when Monty was with the Vikings when you were there. I think Lane was in high school, you told us at the time. All right, now it's done. So give me your reaction to how all this played out and Lane being the LSU coach.
Well, I thought the way it played out was I like the back end of the way it's playing out. Charlie going back, getting by first, early signing date and bringing some assistance. These kids that you have sweat and recruited and cried with and competed with, you can't just abandon them. I don't know where we got wrong. I'm not saying Lane. I'm talking about anywhere you just go, hey, man, it was great being with you. I wouldn't have let him coach at Ole Miss either. I wouldn't have if I was the AD, and that's my guy because I just think it's wrong. But you go there, and I love the fact they're sending him back, Charlie and some assistants, to give those kids a chance to go win the ring that, you don't get much opportunity to do. And I think that's wise. It's fair for Pete, and it's fair for Ole Miss. And if you really, really care about the kids after all this time that you've been with them every day, I'm always going to care about the ones I got under my umbrella, not the ones I'm hoping are under my umbrella. I think this is good. I didn't like the way it went down at first. I mean, the up and down, but listen, the he said, she said, that's always going to happen. It is. And I don't begrudge Lane for going and getting his. Hell, everybody, only they know, the person, all of us know what they think's best for us. And it's obvious he feels the best way to win a national championship aside from the money is at LSU. And he's probably right. And some people are bummed that he didn't go the Dabble route and build Ole Miss like he built Clemson and turn them into a yearly powerhouse. And he did something that they never had done. And he's going to be scrutinized even more at LSU. He just is, and he can handle it. He's seen it all before. Bigger chance to win, but also bigger chance if you go win 10 games at LSU, 4 straight years and don't win a title, they'll find a new coach. They just will. You win 9 or 10 games at Ole Miss, you're a hero. They put statues up. So he knows that going in, but I think he relishes the chance, and he's going to get great players. The guy can recruit. He knows everything there is to know, and it's going to be, we're going to watch him, and we're going to watch him closely. And I couldn't root for him any harder. I felt bad for those kids, but kids are moving, coaches are moving. It happens all the time. That's just part and parcel to what our business is. On the field, backups play. Off the field, people recruit, people leave, people transfer, coaches go to where they think's best for their career. And listen, I don't know. What if Alabama offers Lane a chance to leave in 3 years? Would he leave? Who knows?
Yeah.
But I know this. He's under LSU's umbrella now, and they got a great coach and one of my favorite people on the planet. I couldn't wish for Ole Miss any harder in this. I think Pete will do well. And I'm glad at the end that these kids at least get some continuity to have a chance. Because in truth, trying to put a game plan together in a couple weeks for the playoffs, 3 weeks or so, is still hard to do. And I think that's a good thing to do. But he'll have a better chance to win a national title at LSU. And I understand all the hurt from Ole Miss, but it's we got to get over the I'm going to be loyal on either side, because players and coaches go where is best for them, where they make the most money, and where they think they can get the most pub, or in a coach's place where they can win the most games.
Sean Salisbury is with us. How quickly do you think he can win?
I don't. This wouldn't be to me like going from North Dakota State to Iowa State. Let's just use that. It's a jump. Hell, North Dakota State may even be able to compete with it. Or should I say North Dakota State to a good program but had a down year? I mean, you say, okay, we got to build, or a good program that's a good program but not one that's in national contention every year. I mean, let's flip it. If he would have gone from LSU to Ole Miss, and Ole Miss would have had old school Ole Miss, where some good, some bad. If he just flipped it and reversed it, I'd say in 2 or 3 years he could start to win. 2 years, he'll make a difference the first year there and start to win. Now you flip it, he's at LSU. I'm not giving him or anybody that walks it. Well, you walk into LSU, Southern Cal, Ole Miss, Penn State, normally, Alabama, Georgia. You don't get a chance to. I'm not giving you a 3-year hall pass.
Yeah,
I won't do it. He's not expecting that. Got to win right away. That's why he left. They're going to give him $25+ million for NIL. He's making money. They got players. What would be the excuse? A transfer portal? Well, he's been a magician at Ole Miss in the transfer portal. There is no. I expect him to win next year. I expect him to be in the playoff next year. I expect him to be hitting that envelope, or at least pushing it. The impact he's made quickly and for a while now. What's it, 5 or 6 years, Matty? Whatever it's been at Ole Miss. Hell, their years run together.
Yeah, it's 6.
And now 6 years.
Yeah.
Oh well, in 6 years he better be in the Final Four or playing in the national championship game. In 3 years he better be in it every year. I would expect that. I don't think Ole Miss fans, just like my guy when Lincoln Riley went there, defense or no defense, and nobody at USC was waiting on Lincoln Riley. Hey, we'll give you a hall pass for 2 years.
Yeah.
No, we're judging you immediately. I know there's changes. Quarterback, he's going to bring a transfer portal quarterback in. Whether it's, I'm just talking, not him. Whether it's Levitt or bringing the guy from Ole Miss, he'll bring some players in. He'll be well equipped. The cupboard will not be bare. It's LSU. So if he's not win 8 games next year, and it'll be a failure of a season for LSU. I don't care what the schedule says. That's what my expectations for Lane, because I hold him in high regard, and LSU's program. You know my expectations and my regard for them. Nah, man, I don't care if it's the SEC. This is LSU. This is Southern Cal. This is Alabama. This is Georgia. You don't get 2-year hall passes. You go build it. It's not like SMU where you took the the death penalty. You upgraded your coaching staff. You got a guy who knows how to win and knows how to recruit and will be active in all of it. Nah, you got to win right now if you're LSU. They were supposed to win this year. So I don't know what the difference is other than an upgraded coach. Yeah, I expect a quick turnaround.
He's Sean Salisbury. I'll get him at Sean Unfiltered. Want to knock at a quick break, come back. Still a lot to talk about. I want Sean's reaction to the day Tyler Shuck had. We get a quick preview of Saints-Panthers this week, and I got to get Sean's take also on Phillip Rivers coming out of retirement at 44. What can we realistically expect if he sees the field this weekend for Indy? We'll get to all of it as we continue with Sean on AFR.
After further review.
Get Gordon and get it done. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. You've been injured in an accident. It's not your fault. Do what injured people in our state have done for more than 30 years. Get Gordon and get it done. We will be on Thursday at Gordon's main office in Baton Rouge and fired up for it. It's the annual Gordon McKernan Injury Attorney bicycle giveaway where they're giving away 600 bicycles to less fortunate children across the state of Louisiana. The Baton Rouge giveaway this Thursday. We'll be there for AFR. Gordon will join us on the show. We'll talk some Tigers, some NIL, all that stuff, Lane Kiffin and everything. But the reason we're there, of course, is to see these children that are going to be so happy, smiles on their face as they get a bicycle this Christmas, something that's one of the great community outreach endeavors every single year with Gordon McKernan Injury Attorney. So we're excited for it. We're excited to be there on Thursday and to see all those young kids have a brighter, happier Christmas, merrier Christmas, thanks to Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. Get Gordon and get it done.
South Louisiana, it's turnaround season, and River Parish Contractors is calling in the best of the best. We're hiring pipe fitters, iron workers, boiler makers, combo and structural welders, rig welders, carpenters, crane operators, dirt operators, and more. If you're ready to work, ready to earn, and ready to build something that lasts, call Big Jake at 318-547-1000 or go to rpcontractors.com. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
In South Louisiana, you can always count on good people coming together to help our children.
At Dreams Come True, we grant wishes for Louisiana children with life-threatening illnesses. But to do this, we need funds.
That's why we're trying to raise $100,000 for Dreams Come True by giving away the Blessed Builders School.
Make your backyard's dream come true while helping our kids.
Just go to dreampoolla.com and you can find out how your $25 donation might help win you a Duplessis pool.
This menu is a masterpiece, delivers every time.
This is the worst party ever. Raising Cane's!
Let's go!
The party is saved!
Peter, Mr. Billingsley.
Celebrate the holidays with Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
Dr. Johnson, that's my guy. He gonna tell me when I need to do better. He gonna tell me when I need to slow down. And I trust him 100%. The medical care that I received at LSU and with Our Lady of the Lake is top tier. I really trust what they telling me, and they keep me right.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith with Locke Meredith Sean Fagan & Associates. We take great pride in educating our clients about their rights. Whether you're injured at work or while you drive, call our office at 272-5555. Knowledge is power, and you should know your rights after an injury.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan of Locke Meredith Sean Fagan & Associates. When insurance companies have been unfair, we've never been afraid to go to trial. Fighting hard to
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
She thinks my tractor's sexy. It really turns her on.
Always appreciate our friends over at Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana, sunequip.com, sunequip.com. Always appreciate Sean Salisbury for his time on these Tuesday editions of AFR. I mean, I got to get a thought on Phillip Rivers. 44, hasn't played since the COVID year, signs to the practice squad. If he signs the active roster, he'll restart his Hall of Fame clock. My goodness, Sean, what do you think is a realistic expectation here? Oh, wait, Sean, you're muted. You're muted.
You got me?
Yeah,
yes,
there you go. Yep.
They're signing him for the biggest reason is because they trust verbiage, mental, emotional, that he'll know where to go with football. At 44 years old, they're trusting, even been out since COVID year, that he knows where to throw it. The question is, will he be able to get it there on time and with velocity and accuracy?
Yeah.
You know you're not going to move off the mark. Their offense is going to have to change because Daniel Jones is a run threat. You don't have the RPO threat to get him on the edge. You're going to play between the tackles. You're not going to change his launch point very much. You know where he's going to be. So if you have a fierce pass rush, Phillip Rivers is going to throw from there. Now he'll bow his neck. He'll put his back foot in the ground. He'll let it rip. There's no doubt he'll take a hit. He's tough SOB, and he's a competitive dude as well. As competitive as we've seen. But I can remember my first year out of the NFL, I was working for ESPN. And Brian Billick and Denny Green both called me when it was either Brad or Randall Cunningham went down. I was in a coat and tie and doing games and doing studio stuff. And they said, there's still some magic in that arm. Can you come back and play? And I'd made the decision when I quit playing after 10 years, I wasn't going back, but I considered it. And year 2, they did the same thing. They called me again. Why? Was still in shape and wasn't so far removed from the game. They trusted that even as a backup coming into somebody or when somebody got hurt, that I could win games for them and at least hold it down. And I turned it down, but I get what he's going through. But I was just 2 years removed. But about the 3rd year when I was removed and done for sure, I can remember standing on the sidelines during a game and I thought, good gracious, it moves fast. And I was just 3 years removed. So, and Philip's a better player. I get all that. And I completely understand it. But the hits are getting a longer recovery. 44 is 44, but when you've been out of it that long, it will be different, the physical part. And the game's even going to move faster than he remembers. Yet his competitiveness, he'll know where to throw it. He'll know the anticipation. But if you remember back when he was done, and I hold Philip Rivers in the highest regard, is his skill set had fallen off then, Matty. I mean, the ball wasn't there as accurate on time. There was a little less velocity to it. So he's going to have to even anticipate a little more. But if you're able to get interior pressure on him, there's no east and west escape threat. But it's an indictment on quarterbacks in the NFL. The fact that we're doing this,
right?
Guys that have been cut 2 weeks ago, a month ago, 6 months ago, a year ago, that you're going back 5 years basically to get a guy whose skill set was diminished in. His competitiveness, and he may have fresh legs, man. He hasn't been beat up. He's been coaching in Alabama. Fresh legs in. But after one game, if you take 8 hits, those fresh legs aren't going to be fresh anymore. So I hope for the Colts, it's such a bummer. But Philip Rivers will keep you in games with his mind. But this young man's game, man, you got to be extra special and unique to do this. And there's very few Warren Moons and Brady's around, even Rodgers, who still execute it pretty well. It's going to be, and being out of it 5 years, yeah, it's going to look different and feel different. I can't help but wish him well. I hope for miracle stories. The physical will not match the mental in this, I can assure you.
Yeah, man. It's stunning that there's nobody?
There's nobody else to go get. That's my point. It's weird to me, but it is an indictment, at least from one team. I mean, Flacco and Philip Rivers. Joe's done a great job, but he hasn't been 5 years removed, right? He's on his couch for a couple months. They call him. And even I'm sure he'll tell you the recovery, and Joe's in good shape, and I'm sure Philip is in competitive good shape too, but it's different, man. We can say all we want. This is awesome. And it is awesome for our viewing pleasure and our banter. And I hope for Philip's success. It's going to be, put it this way, don't expect this for 3 years.
Yeah.
Because he ain't hanging around that long. This may be a month and done, depending. If they were 4 and 9, Philip Rivers would not be playing.
Yeah.
He would be home. This is because they're in a playoff race.
Yeah, man. Would you restart your Hall of Fame clock too? I mean, it's
maybe they're gonna cut him a little slack. You know how move the goalposts a little for him. I don't know. I would hope he doesn't, because the numbers continue to get inflated for guys 5 more years down the road. I don't know how they're going to approach it. If he does this and reactivates, right, and they live by the rule, and it's 5 more years, they're out of sight, out of mind. Then it's going to be very difficult, because he's already a borderline guy, because he didn't win a Super Bowl and doesn't have that part of his resume. But I couldn't root for him harder. But this is going to be a tough task on a team that's reeling a little bit anyway.
Well, from a 44-year-old to a rookie, but a 26-year-old rookie. Right. Tyler Shuck got another win, man. The stat line wasn't pretty, but he made winning plays. I'm curious, month into this Shuck experience, what you've seen in the progress here from Tyler Shuck.
Manny, I'm a little surprised. I don't know if anybody's talking about this, but when he came out of school with all the football he played, and you and I haven't really even dove into this because it's only been a couple games, is we shouldn't be overly surprised that he's making pretty fast improvement weekly. Now, the passing numbers weren't that gaudy. He made plays when they were there, turned the ball over once. But we saw something maybe people don't give enough credit for, his ability to escape and make things happen with his legs.
Unbelievable.
And it was. And you know what? So that's one of those things. And another, guy that a buddy of mine trains, when Brock Purdy, when he came out, we didn't think it. We thought, well, is he going to be able to escape? And has gave you a little extra time and done some things. The reason I'm saying both is because for me, my buddy's trained both of them since like the 8th or 9th grade. So, and neither one of them are known as, great athletes, great feet, but Shook's done a nice job, man. And I thought his legs and when he used them was efficient, smart, and judicious. He is improving, played a lot of football. He's a little more mature than the 22-year-old. And so I am not surprised if you watched him, and I watched a lot of him coming out of school and during his time in college at a couple different places, and did a lot of time talking to the guy who's trained him and what his strengths and weaknesses are. So you're looking. I'm not surprised he's playing well. He just needed to play. We see Shedeur Sanders improving. We see guys. Reps help, but you're seeing it, and he's smart. That I do know. High football IQ, knows where to go. They're still just limited on players, but look what they did against a team who, Matty, when we started, like let's say somewhere middle of October, there was some that had in the power rankings the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as the NFC's best team. That happened. And now look, goes in there, beats them. I know weather gets into it, but you got to learn how to play good and bad. And his experience is helping him through the good stuff and some of the difficult stuff. It's okay to get kicked in the teeth. It's how you respond. Another 4 weeks of this, and you may be looking at different bodies, not a quarterback position.
Yeah, man. The other thing that's interesting is they're going to play.
Yeah.
They're going to play. They'll play Carolina this weekend, and with the Saints beating Tampa, now Carolina and Tampa are tied at the top of the division. Which, man, Sean, a month ago, Tampa looked like they were running away with the division. They go on that 3-game skid, and all of a sudden now, you got a battle there. If you would, the Saints beat the Panthers in Carolina. It was Shook's first win, but if you would give me a thought on what we could expect maybe the second go-round with this game in New Orleans on Sunday.
Well, I think both, and backing up just 1 second, Matty, as we said in October, we had an MVP in the league, or at least close. Tampa Bay was a Super Bowl contender.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. And now how it's changed over the last month plus. And from the last time to now, here's the gig. Is that Carolina's also seen now it should work in both's favor. I mean, defensively, you're no longer, if you're Carolina, especially with where you are and how important this game is, you're not going to take them for granted, and you're surely not going to go in here thinking, oh, we got a young quarterback we can abuse. He's 26, but he's got some experience. You're going to look at him different than you would have if you played him the very first time right out of his first start, where he's trying to feel his way with this personnel. And if you're on the other side of it, you're Carolina. But now you also know, oh, I saw some stuff on tape the guy opened our eyes to, which is going to have to make your defense think a little bit more and use up a little bit more practice time. Don't kid yourself. If we run a reverse pass in practice, I'm just using, or in a game 2 weeks ago, and 2 weeks later we're playing a team, do you know that play, and even if it wasn't successful, it'll use up an hour of practice time on some defense coordinator afraid to death 1 out of 70 plays is going to be the reverse pass that hits, and so it'll use up the practice time, just like this. Ooh, saw a big 30-yard plus run. It was pretty accurate with the ball. Seems to be able to understand what's going on with coverage, at least early on here, and reading defenses. Man, we're going to have to play him a little different too, which if you're worried about the legs, then maybe you're not as overly aggressive rushing the passer. And on the other side, obviously, Carolina's feeling pretty confident about the way they're starting to grow. So it's a plus for both. The disadvantage for Shook is that they've seen him on tape a little bit now, and he's having some success. But a bigger advantage goes to the quarterback feeling it. You start to see it. It looks like it feels like it's his team. This is a huge one. And if you're Saints, all you're trying to do is build, grow your confidence, and learn how to win. And that's what they're going through right now with this group.
Yeah, man. It's going to be interesting to watch over the final month of the season with New Orleans and what Tyler Shough can do, man. They're not playing for anything, obviously, but I think you said it right, Sean. You're playing for when you are drafting. Are you drafting a quarterback, or are you drafting a piece to help Tyler Shough win in the future?
Right, no doubt. And if you have any sense of urgency as a player, I've said this before, Matty, if you're Kellen Moore, you're evaluating your coaches, the coaches are being evaluated, but so are the players. This is when I usually know it's easy to play when you're in a playoff hunt. Now, it's a tough game, but it's easy to come to work because you're like, I'm in it. It is hard when you're battling a guy, maybe you're a little tired, you're not going anywhere. You got to play. You're trying to play well, but there's going to be a third of this roster that's not going to be on it next year. So those cats are playing for their job, career, a chance to play somewhere else, or a chance to impress that, hey, when it was at its worst, I'm at my best. Shook's been one of those. They saw the first guy in Spencer Rattler. Now he's taking advantage of it. We saw that going on in Cleveland with Gabriel. Shadur's taking advantage of it. Jackson Dart's taking advantage of it. I said these young men are getting after it, what you're willing to learn and what you're willing to do. And as a team, the Saints do, when people say there's nothing to play for, and you and I were commenting, what there is to play for is a lot of pride and a lot of experience. And organizationally, you have to view this with heavy hands and with hardcore evaluation.
He is Sean Salisbury. You'll get him at Sean Unfiltered, of course, Unpaved there on YouTube as well. And an awesome new venture that he's just pushing off from the doc. Told you about there as we were starting the segment here with Sean, the national director. Am I getting the national football director?
National football director, and then I'm in charge of tech. But it's football for sure. But I also, volleyball, women's. So we're helping them all. We're scouting them all, evaluating them all, and with relationships and folks, there's scholarship money and chances for your kid to play. It's not a questionnaire. It's great evaluation to see how it fits. We're not going to tell you anything that is going to lead you astray. And that's important to me, the character that goes with it. It's a great company. I'm looking forward to it.
NSR-INC.com. It's National Scouting Report. NSR-INC.com if you want to learn more. Always appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Great to see you, Patty. Appreciate it.
Thanks, man. We'll see you next week. That's Sean Salisbury. It's AFR. We're brought to you by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Inching closer to Christmas. If you're still looking for that perfect gift for him or her, Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry can help. Yeah, they have beautiful diamond engagement rings and the best selection you'll find. Listen, I know I say it often, but it's true. And you walk into Lee Michaels, you'll understand. You go to one of the box stores, it's very cookie cutter. You go to a boutique, you're not going to have quite the selection, and you're certainly going to overpay. You go to Lee Michaels, because Scott has the buying power for 10 different stores, you're going to get the great selection, and because they buy for 10 stores, they get great value, and they're going to be able to give you a great price. It's Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. If they don't have what you want, they'll find it. They can't find it, they'll make it. If it's diamond engagement rings, if it's beautiful necklaces, pendants, bracelets, rings, watches, writing utensils, writing instruments, incredible selection at Lee Michaels. Get by any of the 10 locations: Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Lafayette, Shreveport, and online at lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. All right, y'all, it's After Further Review. Glad you're rolling along with us here. Gosh, it's been a busy show. Haven't really had time to get to a lot of interaction or reaction. If you want, you can always email us, tweet us, or text 225-396-4400, 396-4400. I know at the end of last week, there was, we reported that, Football Scoop reported that Elijah Robinson was LSU's target to be the defensive line coach. We reported that Robinson was on LSU's campus. Football Scoop later reported that Robinson was going to be the LSU defensive line coach. That might be changing. We'll give you the latest when we come back here on AFR.
After Further Review.
We're brought to you by the Watermark in the Renaissance. Watermark Downtown, Renaissance Southtown. Of course, Watermark Baton Rouge is Baton Rouge's premier hotel property, the premier luxury hotel in Baton Rouge. The old Louisiana National Bank building just celebrated its centennial. The building just celebrated its centennial in October. The original high-rise in downtown Baton Rouge, you walk in, you feel like you're walking into this historical landmark in Baton Rouge with so many beautiful modern amenities. It's awesome. If you haven't been to Watermark Baton Rouge, you got to. Whether it's just to go have dinner at the Gregory, whether it's to have a glass of wine or a cocktail at the lobby bar, maybe you've got friends, family, clients, whatever, coming in town. Make sure they know they could stay downtown. Walking distance to restaurants and hotels and shopping and amenities and sites all over downtown Baton Rouge. It's Watermark Baton Rouge, and amazing place to host your next event. Check them out. It's Watermark Baton Rouge.
Flight by Yingling is raising the bar by crafting the next generation of light beer. With only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Flight by Yingling. Raise the bar.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to find more information and to find a propane dealer near you, visit louisianapropane.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. and we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Dr. Johnson, that's my guy. He gonna tell me when I need to do better. He gonna tell me when I need to slow down. And I trust him 100%. The medical care that I receive at LSU and with Our Lady of the Lake is top tier. I really trust what they telling me, and they keep me right.
BRAC teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered gold. BRAC, your #1 park system in the nation.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Wall-to-wall TVs mean you'll see every touchdown in HD. Place your bets and...
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
She likes the way it's pulling while we're tilling up her land. She's even kind of crazy about my phone.
All right, Jimmy will be here in about 10 minutes or so. Get to Otter Locks. We escaped last night. Both the Chargers and the under hit overtime play. We'll take it. Looks like Football Scoop might have jumped the gun on their report about Elijah Robinson. So on Thursday of last week, Football Scoop reported that LSU was looking to make a splash hire, and they were pursuing Elijah Robinson, the former Texas A&M defensive line coach who left A&M to go be the defense coordinator at Syracuse. On Friday, we reported that Robinson was at LSU football ops. Then Saturday morning, Football Scoop reported, the Saturday morning update was splash secured. Elijah Robinson is joining LSU's staff, sources share. So, that was their Saturday morning update, was that it was done, that Robinson was joining the LSU staff. Well, now, backtracking a little bit, Football Scoop is reporting that there are other suitors, and it's not done with Robinson to LSU. Nebraska has parted ways with Terry Braden, their defensive line coach. They're in the mix, and apparently there's other suitors as well for Elijah Robinson to be the defensive line coach. This is a little uneasy. It's, as I'm told, Penn State, Nebraska, LSU are the three that are vying for Robinson's services. One thing I was told last Saturday was that Robinson did not like leaks, and the fact that it leaked that LSU was interested and then that he was on campus on Friday after the Football Scoop report on Thursday that leaked, that he was not super pumped about that. But I don't think this means it's done, but LSU's let me rephrase. I don't think this means Robinson won't be here. It just means it's not done, and LSU's got competition here with Nebraska and Penn State. So we'll see what Elijah Robinson chooses. It's a little uneasy, man. That's Kyle Williams. I think the one thing we know for certain now is that Kyle Williams is not expected to return, as we've talked about quite a bit here for all the many reasons we've talked. It's a little bit of a bummer because I think Kyle did a great job with that position group. But I think we all understand, he wants to spend time with family, all the sort of stuff that that we've talked about here over the last several weeks. So he'll coach the bowl game and finish the season, and then we'll leave the staff, and we'll see who Lane Kiffin hires to be his defensive line coach. Hopefully it's Elijah Robinson, as that'll be a major coup. A great defensive line coach, a young guy at 40 years old, and a great recruiter with 6 years of SEC experience from his time at A&M. But, again, a guy who played at Penn State, and the alma mater apparently is trying to recruit him back home to go be their defensive line coach. So what type of a pull and tug might that be there to Happy Valley? Something worth keeping an eye on here in the coming days. If it's not Elijah Robinson, I don't know what direction they go. I know a lot of people have asked about Ed Ogeron, and I know there's been just that just hasn't been an easy answer. And I don't know that Lane Kiffin is eager to walk that road to bring Coach O back to staff. I'm not saying it won't happen. I don't know. What I'm telling you is the conversations I've had. It's very nondescript. It's just very indefinite. You can't get a very clear answer as to say they would definitely love to have him back or absolutely not. It's always this weird sort of like in between when they've had these conversations. When I've had these conversations with folks about Ed Ogeron joining the staff as the defensive line coach. So I don't think that it's a no. I just think it's pretty clear at this point that it's not a yes either. So Elijah Robinson has options. We'll see how that goes and develops here in the coming days. All right, it's after further review. We are brought to you by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Windows door siding. Oh, yeah, they do shutters too. It's Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Tell you every day, energy-efficient replacement windows, beautiful entry doors, hardy plank vinyl siding. They do it all. They do it better than anyone, and they offer a true lifetime transferable warranty. And I say true lifetime transferable warranty because what if a company's only been around for a year or a couple of years, and they're telling you they got a lifetime warranty? Well, can you be sure they're going to be around long enough to honor that warranty? You don't have to worry about that with Relief Windows. Give them a shout, y'all. 288-8138, 288-8138, 288-8138, or ReliefWindows.com. Windows, doors, siding. They do shutters too. Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. The Pelicans lost yesterday to the Spurs, 135-132. Despite the fact that they've tried to emphasize defense, they gave up 135 points to San Antonio at home. But Derek Queen's awesome and had a triple-double. They finally hit. I mean, for all the talk about Zion, I mean, they absolutely smoked this draft pick here with Derek Queen, who had a triple-double last night. Pels are 3-22, and they suck. But here was Graf on the triple-double call.
Cross court over to Murphy. There it is for three. Triple-double.
There it is right there.
Derek Queen. 3-ball Murphy.
I'm happy for Graf and JD. I am. I'm happy for them that they got to call a triple-double.
Okay, I thought you just meant in general with Derek Queen, like that they're getting to call Derek Queen.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like they get to call, like that they get some happiness because there's not a lot to be happy. They're 3-22. They haven't won since that Monday game against the Bulls like 3 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, the 24th. I think that was the day. Was that the Monday? Was that the day Layla Kiffin was in Baton Rouge? Yeah, that was the. There's your context. which feels like a year ago. Yeah. That was the last time the Pelicans won a game. Give me Graf.
Now doubled, nowhere to go. Lob it out Long Bay. Chest it to Trey.
Oh yeah.
Left angle three.
Oh
Good.
yeah. Trey be in.
The crowd sounds like a high school gym. What the hell? Give me one more.
He's worth what you gave up.
Bay for three left corner.
Oh, yes, sir.
Nothing but net in front of the Spurs bench.
That is a wet jumper from the corner.
Oh, wet. This is supposed to be like a splash?
That's what I thought. Yeah, I don't really know the context there, but sure. I like it.
Leave JD alone.
I said I like it.
Oh, my God. God, they're so bad. Sadiq Bey sucks, too.
He just made that three. They gave him the lead.
He sucks. I wanted them to be good. I know nobody cares. I know you don't care. I know you don't care. I'm not going to break down games. That's not why we're here. You don't care. I get it. I wish they were good. They're not. I wish more people cared. They don't. I'm not going to sit here and make you listen to me talk about the Pelicans, but I will play graph calls because we can all agree, even if you don't care about the Pelicans or the NBA or Sadiq Bey and how much he sucks or anything like that, we can all agree that Graph and JD are awesome. Give me more Graph. Give me more Graph. Here we go. Give me Graph.
34 points in the paint now for San Antonio. Back the other way. Herb, lob it up to Trey. Dunk it down. 2 hands.
Oh, it's a wet
three.
It's
a wet jumper. No, it was a wet jumper. Yeah.
Oh, man. Oh, God. Canberra. All right. Pelicans will try again on Thursday. They'll play Portland at the Blender. They'll lose. But the great news, Muse, I got great news. Here's the positive part of it. I got great news.
What you got?
When you're 3-22, you're awful, the worst team in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have the best odds to win the draft lottery. That's the great news.
It's true.
Yep.
That's worked out great for the Pels in the past, the draft lottery, winning it.
Muse, they don't have the pick. I was setting you up.
Oh, God, wait, they don't. They traded it.
It wasn't top 5 protected. So they don't even have the pick. Come on, Muse. Come on, Muse.
Even if they had the pick.
Okay. It's after further review. Jimmy's next.
AFR. GLO.
GlowResources.com. 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 Did I just make a jingle? Did I just make a Glow Resources jingle? That was terrible. I love telling you about Glow Resources, though. Jareth Nakan, the crew over at Glow Resources, does awesome work. You know, their specialty is finding skilled blue-collar labor. Now, they have their professional placement division that can help you with any office job. But if you need welders, pipe fitters, crane operators, any type of heavy equipment operators, they are experts. That's their specialty, is finding those skilled blue-collar workers. And look, let's be real. If you own one of those industries, a business in one of those industries, you understand how difficult it is to find people who are reliable, who want to work, who are consistent. Let Glow Resources help. GlowResources.com. Check them out online. This is not temp staffing. They're finding you permanent solutions. So check them out online. GLO. GlowResources.com. Complete employer solutions.
Trust isn't given. It's earned. On the field, I trust my team. For my healthcare, I trust the lake.
Our Lady of the Lake sports medicine experts know what it takes to improve performance and build champions at every level. That's why LSU chose Our Lady of the Lake as its championship health partner, trusting Louisiana's best medical team to care for our state's best athletes. From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
I trust the lake.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
It's time for Christmas on the River, Cajun style. Join us for the 35th Annual Festival of the Bonfires, December 13th through 15th at Lutcher Park in St. James Parish. Enjoy great food, live music, local crafts, Santa's Very Merry Forest, and carnival rides. Plus, we'll light a new bonfire on Friday and Saturday in preparation for the arrival of Papa Noel. The 2024 Festival of the Bonfires is sponsored by First American Bank and Trust. Log on to festivalofthebonfires.org for more information.
South Louisiana, it's turnaround season, and River Parish Contractors is calling in the best of the best. We're hiring pipe fitters, iron workers, boiler makers, combo and structural welders, rig welders, carpenters, crane operators, dirt operators, and more. If you're ready to work, ready to earn, and ready to build something that lasts, call Big Jake at 318-547-1000 or go to rpcontractors.com. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here. We eat out here. We watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your...
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
Down the stretch we come. Final segment here on this Tuesday edition of AFR, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. We're still waiting on Jimmy to call?
Yes, we're still waiting on Jimmy to call.
Way to go, Otter. No biggie. We just do this every day at this time. So we'll see if we get to Otter locks. Otter did hit last night. It was great. Matt French said, Matt, it's not Christmas yet. Why are we talking about the Pels? Great point. My apologies, Matt. You know, we do the Christmas bit here that whenever we talk about the Pels, we play Christmas music and we say Merry Christmas. But look, I haven't even had Graf on the show yet. We've not had Graf. We haven't had Jake Madison. We haven't had AD. We haven't had Joel Venile. We haven't had
Haven't had Andrew?
Nobody. I mean, I'm not talking Pels. I'm playing Graf sound bites. Can we all agree there's a difference between talking Pels and I didn't break down the defensive collapse late in the game. I'm just playing Graf sound bites. It's a big difference, I think, anyway.
Yeah, no, that's what I was going to say. We're not, when the guy asked you, why are you talking Pels, I was like, are we? I don't think we actually are.
No.
Yeah.
Craig said, hey, Scone, I know it's football season, but does Musso have a start date for Musso at the box yet?
I do have a start date for Musso at the box. They are back on the field January 12th. I will follow with something that weekend because I'll be out of the box that weekend.
Okay. There we go. January 12th. All right, we got Otter. Hit it.
Otter Locks.
All right, time to win some money.
Presented by Total Maintenance AC Repair. Same-day service means you will never sleep hot. 480-1000. We are Total Maintenance.
I think it's safe to say that I won the bet.
Otter, how are you?
I'm doing just fine after that little fourth interception by Mr. Jalen Hurts last night.
That was so good. Man, whenever...
That was a close call to the total and the spread.
Yeah. When the Chargers on the 4th and 4 flinched and they flagged him, I'm like, I know how this is going to go. I thought it was over. I thought we were cooked.
I couldn't believe that guy jumped. I just couldn't believe it. I mean, it's out of a timeout.
Yeah.
Out of a timeout. Come on, the oldest trick in the book. But it does happen. That's why they do it sometimes. But anyway.
All's well that ends well. What are we looking at tonight?
That's right. 2 games are already underway. Clemson and Villanova, both are still at favorable lines if you still want to bet them.
All right.
They tipped off at 5:30. It gave him a hunt. He posted them on LouisianaSports.net. Clemson plus 5.5. Against BYU. BYU way more public, this inflated line. Clemson right there. Had the lead late in Tuscaloosa, the ACC-SEC challenge, and then lost. They still cover that spread, but they're getting better and better. I think this one's going to come down to the wire. So I take Clemson. Hit 5.5. Earlier.
It's at 3.5 now.
3.5. I'd still take it. Right. I'd still take it right now if you did.
I'm going to watch it. I'm going to watch it. I'll end game it. We'll get a better number.
Villanova against Michigan. Michigan, we know about how they won the Aero Sports tournament, the money tournament in Las Vegas, and destroyed Gonzaga about 40 in the final. But those lines have been really jacked up since they got out of it. So 16.5, 17 with Villanova. It might be getting a little bit more than
it's
that.
It's at 20.5 right now if you jump on it.
Yeah, I would take it. I would take Villanova.
Just did.
Right now. Yes. And then one Big Ten game tonight, Ohio State and Illinois. Ohio State won on the road in Evanston against Northwestern. They're not bad. Not bad at all. Illinois had some high-profile wins, all at home. So we're going to take the home dog here in the Buckeyes, plus 3.5.
Where are you tomorrow, Otter?
Tomorrow we're at Modesto Mexican Grill on Burbank, just off of Nichols.
All right. Clemson, Villanova, and Ohio State, your 3 college basketball plays. Thank you, Otter.
All right, good luck.
All right, man. Same to you. It's after further review with your winnings. How about you go to Supper Club? SupperClubBTR.com for your reservation. SupperClubBTR.com. No matter what you get, I say it all the time, it's going to be the best version of whatever that thing is that you ever want to get. I mean, the Chilean sea bass, for example, immaculate. It's an 8-ounce portion. It's marinated for 8 hours in a miso and citrus marinade. It's oven roasted, served on a bed of steamed bok choy. The sea bass is finished with a miso glaze. Shiitake mushrooms are blended in the glaze. It's garnished with scallions. I'm telling you, if you love steak, you'll have the greatest steak ever at Supper Club. But even if you don't want steak, if you want the Chilean sea bass, they have free-range chicken. Last time we went, Eric got the truffled lobster gnocchi. No matter what you get, it's going to be the best thing you've ever had of that thing at Supper Club. And you'll always have an incredible dining experience. SupperClubBTR.com for your reservation. That holiday party, having family in town for Christmas, or just getting together with friends around the holiday season, get your reservation at Supper Club. SupperClubBTR.com. SupperClubBTR.com. All right, y'all, it's going to do it for us here. You missed anything AFR On Demand, presented by Brett Golf, YouTube, or on your favorite podcast app. Thanks to Shea Dixon, who was here. Sean Salisbury earlier this hour as well. Had a lot of reaction from Frank Wilson as LSU gets set for the Texas Bowl. They'll be on the practice field on Thursday. We had all that for you today. Muse Pauly, thanks y'all. Have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow at 3.
AFR.
And as we get on down the road, we remind you about Parish Restoration, parishrestoration.com, parishrestoration.com, parishrestoration.com. Remember, if with all that rain this weekend, if you started to notice water spots on your ceiling or your walls, water intrusion anywhere, chances are that didn't just start. So you probably had a leak somewhere, which means water in your walls, your insulation, and that could mean you have mold. Louisiana is the mold capital of the world, y'all. It is wet and humid. That is a breeding ground for mold. If you have mold, it can be dangerous. It can be hazardous for you, your family. Knock it out efficiently, effectively, and cost-effectively with Parish Restoration. Simple. Start at the website, parishrestoration.com. Go there right now. Fill out the form on the homepage, parishrestoration.com.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Nicely done, ice cubes.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs, set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free, confidential help now.
In South Louisiana, you can always count on good people coming together to help our children.
At Dreams Come True, we grant wishes for Louisiana children with life-threatening illnesses. But to do this, we need funds.
That's why we're trying to raise $100,000 for Dreams Come True by giving away the Blessed Builders School.
Make your backyard's dream come true while helping our kids.
Just go to dreampoolla.com and you can find out how your $25 donation might help win you a Duplessis pool.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. We are honored and humbled to receive from our clients in Google, based on 5-star client reviews, the designation of our law firm is highly recommended. Whether you hire us at all, please give us a call, 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith. Injuries happen when you least expect them to, making your life more complicated. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan & Associates, we know this, and we strive to help each of our clients during these times. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.